Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 35 of Shattered Earth. We're all here relatively on time. This is crazy. Um, the last we left off was mostly downtime shit and personal planning shit, but also a lore dump at the very end. So go back and watch that. More news on the core and the mythology behind it. But now, I have some dialogue that I wrote because there's a birthday party that needs to happen. So, for the week leading up to the celebration, uh, Providence was abuzz with preparations. Most of the townsfolk there, though not familiar with Tavanta as the rest of Scholar's Mark, were more familiar with his wife Amari and the stories she told after her husband would leave town. Surely they thought the tales of his exploits were exaggerated, and even if just a bit. Yet when barrels of drink and wagons of food began rolling into town en masse, it became difficult to deny the fruits of an adventurer's lifestyle. In Providence's town square, banners and ribbons were hung with every bright color of a rainbow, creating a multicolored canopy of cloth that shaded the space in every vibrant hue Tavanta could find. Long picnic tables were woven together from planted saplings sung into shape by druidic magic, then covered in ceramic cutlery in preparation for the feasting that was to come. Deliveries of booze and food stacked up high throughout the Sinclair family home to be prepared and devoured throughout the day of the celebration. The day began with the smell of cooking meats wafting through the town center, as mounds of breakfast foods heaped onto oversized platters were served for the whole town to enjoy. The townsfolk made merry, enjoying their day of celebration and relaxation. Many began their drinking at this time and didn't stop until the last drops of meat and wine were exsanguinated from their barrels. In return for a day-long buffet, several villages struck up performances throughout the day, mixing the traditional songs of their celestial homeland with new ballads acquired from traveling merchants, some of whom participated in the celebration, having found themselves traveling through town on this particular day. After supper, when most were stuffed and drank their fill, Tata received gifts from his family. A mottled green and gray cloak from his mother to keep him warm and hidden on his excursions to the surrounding woods. A wooden figure of a minotaur archer, shaped by his sister Ari, in between daydreaming about knights on white horses. And finally, an enchanted bow from his father that would see his shots fly truer than ever before. Teta went to bed that night the happiest he'd ever been, curled up in a food coma next to his family. Soon after, as Scholars March began their preparations to return to their adventures, a procession of knights bearing standards and colors of the royal guard rode into town bearing grim news. King Mestra Onick, 6th king of the Onick Empire, passed on to his ancestors after prolonged illness. In the months to come, a new king will be crowned according to King Mestra's wishes, and one of his 3 sons will take the throne. Following the proclamation, the anticipation of the coming coronation was palpable. As the news spread, so did the excitement and trepidation surrounding the country's future regent. Largely, the people support the prince on their respective province, though some have been vocal in expressing dissent for the brothers in one form or another. Only time will tell how the future of the empire will unfold. But as that downtime period comes to an end, and as you probably 1 or 2 days out from you guys leaving on your next adventure, the last thing we'll do is Chance. You're busy dealing with he's going to get food. Chance is busy going to get food at the moment, so I'll have to find another creative way to introduce Jolen's new character, or Jay's new character rather. We'll do that later. What would the rest of you like to do at this point?
I got a hilarious way of introducing it, but
Oh, now he's back. Okay, cool. So
Hello.
how would new guy approach? How would new guy approach this?
Chance would hear loud banging at his door.
What time of day is it?
Crack of dawn.
You are evil.
What? No.
Who's
Cool.
waking me up at this hour? Son of a bitch.
As you wake up, your butler floats up through the floorboards at the side of your bed. It says, "Sir, we have a guest at the front door. He looks a bit ragged. Should I send him away?"
If he's come this far to bother me, I might as well see what he's here for.
Very well. I will let him into the parlor. And he floats back down through the floorboards. Outside, the door
I
opens
think a ghost
by
butler is
itself.
fucking sweet.
The door opens by itself with no one having opened it, and opens into the
How
lobby
tall is
portion
it?
of the mansion. The door?
How tall is the door?
It's probably a 10-foot oak door.
Okay.
Very fancy.
The figure is about 6'11", and looks like he got a parchment in his hand, and he's wearing nothing. He got what looks like a backpack, but it looks more like a
Wait, he's wearing nothing? What the fuck?
It's just a random
except for
naked man.
except for a loincloth and a boots. He does have a cloak that looks more like a bear rug than an actual cloak. His backpack is more of just a one sling leather knapsack is somehow holding together. You have no idea how. He got a quarterstaff, and he also have a shield that's strapped to his back right now. And he's
Yeah.
just looking around and waiting.
So you basically
Answer the stripper gas. What the fuck?
So you basically what your character basically sees, Jay, is Chance kind of just ambling down the stairs and like and like hastily thrown together like common clothes. Well, yeah, like the stuff you'd probably like expect that just like very simple clothing without like his normal travel attire. Like, This had better be important if you're waking me up at this ungodly hour.
You sleep this long?
Oh dear God, no! Why?
What?
Chance visibly says that when he hears that. Like he says that, and he is just visibly already done.
Yeah. So, some of the people at the tavern said this is a place to go if you're looking for work or adventures, whatnot.
Okay, I have to ask. Are you okay? Because that voice sounds like it's going to fucking.
I'm fine.
Okay.
This is fine. Decisions have been made.
Oh, by the way, there's some note stuck on your door. Here, throw it at you.
Chance will catch the note because he's actually vaguely coordinated despite being half asleep.
Balled
Still.
up parchment.
Yeah, just a letter simply saying that, pardon me, sir, but the Archmage has requested my assistance with his research. I have been called back. Sincerely yours, Stroban Leoden.
You actually see Chance kind of perk up as he reads this. Oh, thank the gods he's gone.
P.S. Don't forget to keep up your end of the bargain.
Chance is still just glad glad Storman's gone. Like he was already gonna uphold his end of the bargain regardless because contract.
Well,
But
fire.
Okay. Okay.
He's
Sure.
my character is like 6'11". He's two looks to be very muscular and tall, and he's like covered in scars everywhere.
Oh yeah, you're easily over a foot taller than Chance because Chance is like 5'10". No, he's 5'9". Like you are nearly 2 feet taller than this man.
Nice.
You are not, however, 2 feet taller than Moyle, who is close behind Chance because Moyle is significantly more imposing. Not quite as tall as 6'11", but tall enough to not be. He's probably about like a few inches shorter, like 6'4", really.
Okay, so my character would say, so is there a tryout or something?
Okay. Well, not exactly used to people just walking in and asking for a position. Oh, shit. Hold on, what was the name? What was the name of the butler again? I have it in my notes. I'm bad. Chance will kind of just say to the ether, Wilfred, if you could do us kindness and prepare some breakfast, please.
I said,
Wait, you asked me for making breakfast?
I said Wilfred out loud. Like, Wilfred, what are you doing?
Just in response, you hear just the sound of pots and pans begin to clatter around in the kitchen.
Thank you.
The fuck was that?
Oh, that's Wilfred. You'll have to get used to him if you are going to be hanging around here.
Okay. So, how do we do this? Do we sign? I mean, free guild law said I have to form a contract with you or something like that shit. If I take on it, yes, job for you.
Okay, first things first. Despite my position, I am not the leader of our group. It's more of just a group thing. So I'll message for Tavanta to head here, and I have no idea where the hell Flamora is.
probably in the mansion if you let her stay there.
Oh yeah, probably. I'll have to go wake up. Then I'll backtrack a second. I'll have to go wake up Flamora. You can tell Chance is not a morning person, like at all, because he is just almost completely discombobulated.
I do so love a job interview.
Hey, what's your name?
Mora.
Oh, I meant the tall guy, the red tall guy.
You may know my name. My master deems it relevant.
Well, if we are waiting or nothing, want to tussle?
Oh dear God, you're one of those.
What do you mean one of those?
Nothing would make me happier than dying at your hands, sir. But my master has to order it.
I look at Chance like,
I have just paid for the furniture to be repaired, to get new furniture here.
what?
And
No, I'm not a fucking savage. I mean, do it outside, not here.
Can we say that Tavanta, like, this is a couple of days before we're about to head out?
That's exactly
And, like,
what I said.
Tavanta's... Oh, yeah, so Tavanta's at the mansion.
Oh well, I'll just okay. Backtrack again. I'll just go wake up to
Chance is just walking around gathering up people at his house.
Yeah, just Chance just point at the new guy. Just you wait here. Don't break anything.
I mean,
Moyle,
can I break something if it's a self-defense?
If you for some reason you get attacked here, I believe we have bigger issues. Moyle,
So that's a yes, right?
Chance is gonna just let out a bone deep sigh and just go back up the stairs to get like there too with a quick order. Moyle, watch him, please.
Shall I show him to the backyard, master? No.
Oh yeah, backyard will be fucking wonderful. Cause it's like this house is too small.
Too small. This thing is 3 stories tall. What the fuck is wrong with the people?
Okay, I don't like houses. All right.
I mean, I don't think you hear Chance say this. He's mumbling to himself as he's like going back up the stairs.
All right. Well, you are left standing in the foyer as the rest of the members of Scholars March are gathered, and come downstairs.
What the hell? Did you get the stripper gun? What the fuck is this?
Who are you?
Those indeed were words you said, Tavanza, but I have no idea what they were.
Did you get a stripper gram? What is this? Can no one
Alright.
understand at all? Is it just
What?
that horrible?
Which one of you
The
lucky
fuck is a
ladies is
stripper
turning
gram?
38?
Oh no.
Do I just need to talk normal? Is this the only way y'all can hear me?
That's
I got a letter saying stripper requested for a birthday boy.
I will murder all of you.
But no, Savance is like, okay.
Apparently, the word's gotten out that we're looking for extra adventurers for our little band. I don't know who put out the word. I don't know who said it. I don't know who gave that impression. But we have to deal with this now.
Is that the? I mean, that's the rumor that's been circulating at the tavern. That's why I came by. Is that not true?
I mean,
Well, but by the way, Strovan left.
Wow.
Chance says it almost like a complete he says it as a complete afterthought, as if he's not even like remotely phased by it.
Chauvin, okay.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, I just went to bed. Okay. What is your name? Mostly naked person in the foyer.
Delavash, or you could call me Vash.
Vash.
Okay, I actually turn down your volume a little bit because that voice is actually kind of hurting my ears.
Is it tingling your spine like it is mine?
No, it's like making my ears vibrate in a way that's not pleasant.
Nah, it's sounds like, hi Vash. Are you you starting to like compute slowly as his mind's waking up. Are you like this Kelvin or like
I'm good at smashing heads.
that didn't answer my question, but thank you for that information.
Out of character, I could barely hear you. So.
I know. This is what I tried talking in Tavance's voice. I couldn't hear shit I was saying.
Yeah, your mic is just ass. We're trying to.
Do this for me. Go into Discord's settings, go to voice and video, and test your mic out and see if it's peaking the fuck out, because that's what it sounds like. And if it is, then turn your sensitivity down.
Alright. I'll just wait on him to get back before I say anything else.
We shall say. We shall see.
So how have y'all been?
Dying?
We're gonna try again.
That's better.
It's very marginally.
Look, there's not much he can do about it. Might as well just try and deal with it.
All right. So what's the question?
I asked you if you were averse to clothing.
Of what? It sounded like German. You asked him if
He
he
said
was
if he's
averse to
averse.
clothes,
Okay, I actually understood him that time. He asked if you were averse to clothing because you're wearing a loincloth and a cloak.
I mean, it gets in the way when I'm trying to bash people's heads.
So by the way, what you could. Oh wait, no, you're on your phone. Never mind. I was about to say what you could do is you could just write out what you're saying as a double, so we can't hear you. We can at least read what you're saying.
Nah.
If it's too much, I can just do it for today.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. There's only so much we can really do right now. So.
It's fine.
All right. Do you even know the name of our group?
No. I was just drinking at a fucking tavern, and they said there was a venture group here, and they were looking for a hire.
I can imagine you just shaking your fist and going, Jenkins?
What was it? Sorry, I forgot. Fucking spaced.
He said he was drinking at the local tavern, and people there were like, yeah, there's an adventuring party here, and they're looking for people.
Do you know what the name of our band even is?
Like I said, no.
Okay, we are known as the Scholars March. I'm an antiquarian. I study ancient history. Tavanta studies the stars. Flamora, I actually don't know.
Archaeology.
I know which side of the book is up.
Savanta would have held you very hard for saying that he studies the stars, because that's
Wait a minute.
dog.
Look, we've all seen. No, we've all
Yeah,
seen.
but no.
No. Hold on.
No.
Before you say a damn thing, let me finish. Let me say something. Everyone here has seen your star map at least once. We know you study stars. We know you're a Circle of Stars druid.
You don't.
Like-
Yeah.
Dude,
But by the way, this planet has no stars 90% of the time. That's what he was
Right.
getting at.
Yet
Yeah.
Bash doesn't seem to be phased out by what he said about you studying the stars.
It's a weird form of study, but again,
You've lost
Flamora
him.
has.
You've lost the new guy. It's
Yeah,
not
but I'm saying Flamora has seen Tavanta's star map, has seen him do his star shit. It's a known quantity that you study stars. That's not even something you can even hide at this stage.
Looks at new guy.
Yeah, it looks at new guy
Yes.
who doesn't know that.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what we're
Interesting.
pointing out, my guy.
He got lost. What
Yeah.
my character what I was trying to convey was my character got lost as soon as you guys said study.
A fucking fly flies in one ear and out the other. He's just no.
I'll talk
Okay.
to you about it later. But yeah, I'll talk to you about it later.
It's like some kind of food.
Sounds like you guys need somebody that could actually hit things and bash their head in. I mean, if you're all bookworms. I mean, what do I know? I'm just a hired muscle.
Okay. Let me just try and get a baseline so I can get an idea what we're working with. Do you know how to read?
Yes.
Is that required for the job?
Just answer the question.
I mean, like I said, is it required for the job? That's a valid. I think that's a good question, right?
It may be. It depends on what we run into. I just need to know so I have an idea what we're dealing with here.
What the even bylaws?
Bylaws?
We don't have anything in our
Fiji,
that we need to read.
Fiji question.
Yeah,
You see my stats. Do I know how to read and write?
that's part of your setting up the character is that when you choose your languages, it says you know how to read and write X languages. So
Okay, it's like,
whichever languages you have, you know how to read and write them.
yeah, I know how to read and write, I think.
All right. That's good news. That's good. That's good.
I whisper in like I lean in and I whisper into France's ear. You know, we've literally just taken in a random werewolf and broken in before. I don't think there really is a requirement.
She also got ripped apart by undead in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that wasn't because of her lack of ability to read.
Also, this is Chance also being a little bit of a dick because he takes one look at this guy and how he's behaving. He knows full well what kind of person this is. Well, at least in his mind, he thinks he knows.
Do you?
He thinks he knows. He thinks he knows.
He thinks he knows.
He thinks.
Because Chit's like, oh, this is one of those meathead
Look.
types.
Look, I'm not gonna be that guy. I can only do that one spell that helps us live so many times, and I'm the only one who can do it. You said Stolvan went home. He was a bit much, yes, but he was also one of the people who could frontline for us and make sure that I'm able to get off that spell. We don't have that anymore.
Yes,
yes,
you have a point.
Look, you got a training dummy or somebody I could spar with so I could show you at least what the fuck I could do. Maybe you could.
I'll set up something in the back, and I like lead him outside.
It's not going to be me.
But by the way, Chance will kind of look at Tamanta and Flamora as like, I thought, Wilfred's preparing breakfast, so we should probably make this quick.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. If you don't want to spend time to read something you're familiar, I can just summon some things.
Well, if you need me, you can always chain me to a post.
And we're moving on from this conversation.
Hey, I like that idea.
We're moving on from this conversation.
And Chance is already giving you the stink eye for that. Like,
when we get outside, I look to Vash and say, how many do you want?
Let it
Whatever you guys think is good for a test.
Okay, I summon 2 direwolves.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, let's roll initiative. Hold on.
roll initiative. Vassal's like picking nat ones, rolls multiple nat 20s, and he just dies here.
Oh no.
If you die as part of this combat, I will be very surprised and also very, very happy for no reason. Alright, let me put a fucking token on here.
Oh, real natural 20. Yes.
I have an advantage on initiative because of Sentinel Shield.
Yeah.
Ooh.
1 and 2. Shit, this has to be 2 of them. Hold on.
Oh my god.
This one was a 10. Okay. Well, I mean, it goes without saying that Dalavash is going first.
Shouldn't one of those be a 15 because the 13 was because you fucked up?
The first one I rolled was a 10. If you look back on the thing.
And then you rolled a 15, then you rolled a 13.
Yeah, the 15 was a mistake, and then I did the 13 with the other one.
Okay.
Dalavash just sees the 2 direwolves like, I haven't seen these before. This is going to be fun.
Savanta just sits back and goes, and like, Savanta's decent and sizing people up. It's like, I bet he can handle this. It's good. We can handle it. And we're ropes.
Dalavash studied your direwolves a little bit, then he smirked, which starts changing him. Like, he's start growing snout, His fangs start to grow big.
Oh,
His hands start to melt. And there's another fucking direwolf now.
oh, well, that's different.
Wait, what just happened?
Where's the
He
D?
just turned into a direwolf.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So that's what we're dealing with.
And he let out a long howl, aka bonus action. I like to rage.
Sure.
You motherfucker.
Ah, yes.
I can fucking
That ends. I'm gonna.
Jokes aside, how'd you just do that? Like, what's the deal with that?
You got two things you can do. So rage is a bonus action, and also your wild shape is a bonus action. So you can't
Wild shape is an action.
for a moon druid. No.
It said you can, not you have to. You can wild shape as a bonus action.
I mean, all right. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Let me Google that because I don't know if it replaces it or not.
It's not like it offers options.
Right
Like,
up your circle grants the ability to transform into more dangerous animal forms. Starting at second level, you can use your wild shape to transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as 1.
it's like saying
They do not lose the ability to wild shape as an action. Sounds good. Okay, so you're good to go. All right. Well, that's your turn. So moving on.
I'm also going to move back 60 feet.
You'll be in the house.
Well, okay, I'll be. I'll be. Yeah, okay, fuck it. No, I'll take it.
You're going in the house, or are you just gonna stay there?
I'm gonna stay there, but I'm just gonna keep my distance, so make them actually have to come for me.
Okay. Well, they're gonna come for you. They've got a 50-foot speed, and they're not that far away. Each one gets advantage because pack tactics. 23 and a 24.
Reaction. Creature enter my space.
Okay.
Sentinel, because I'm gonna smack it.
Okay.
Wait, that's not how.
what?
Does a sentinel require a polearm, or does it just work that way?
No, right there. Creature provokes attack of opportunity from Nope. I'm thinking fucking polearm master. Now mind.
Yeah.
Right.
So 2 attacks, 15 points of piercing and 11 points of piercing, and each one you need to make a strength save.
Okay, first. So 7. So 13.
Yeah. 12.
And
12.
yeah. Direwolf strength is 3, and they don't get none. I'm prone.
Alright. The 2 direwolves jumping on the 1 direwolf knocks you down, and they start ripping into you. This only enrages you further. Go ahead and do your turn.
I'm just gonna give the command to them, like, as everyone, don't kill.
Sure.
I want to just straight up murdering.
It's murder the new guy. Bury
I'm
in the
going to-
backyard along with the other trainees.
I'm going to reckless.
Okay.
The first direwolf. So how do I roll advantage? Give me a sec. It's been a while since I've done this. Plus 5. Okay. Give me a sec.
You should have the stat block for direwolf available to you. If you want to do something.
I don't.
Why not?
I'm assuming 16 hits.
Yes, 16 hits. Well, it's 16 both times, right?
Well, it's advantage.
Yeah. Advantage. So that's one of them. For how much damage?
It is 2d6.3. So 14 points of damage.
Ooh. Attack
and-
number 1, right?
Yeah, and he goes to make a strength save and whatnot.
Yeah. DC 13, so he succeeds just barely.
Second attack, out to San Juan,
Same guy. Cool.
14.
14 just hits.
You do know that you can just do a macro for the just roll 2d20.
He has the
K8
stat
one.
block. He could use it if he wanted to.
I mean, I was
12.
trying to tell him just a macro for rolling with advantage if he's not using the stat block. I was like, chill the fuck out, VG.
12
So,
points of damage, just like that.
yep.
And then another strength save. 8. So that one is not prone. Should be this one here. So that's prone. Okay.
Okay, bonus action. I'm gonna burn one of my spell slots.
Go for it.
Heal 1.
Cool. You heal 1 point of damage. Is it plus your wisdom as well or no?
Nope. Nope.
Well, that sucks.
Is it at least a D8 per level, or is it just like a D8 entirely?
Per level.
Per level of the spell,
Oh.
which I'm assuming is 1.
Okay, because if it wasn't per level, like that'd be fucking just shit.
That's my turn, by the way.
Alright. So that knockdown direwolf is gonna get up. And then they're going to attack you again. Doing direwolf things. 24 and 12. 12 doesn't hit.
12 doesn't hit.
So 11 points of piercing and then that strength saving throw again. If only if this map were accurate, then there'd be like 100-foot tall direwolves just wrestling on the continent and just destroying stuff.
I'm prone again.
Fucking kaiju.
There you go. Not that it really matters, but there you go. Alright, cool. Your turn.
I'm gonna smack the one I did earlier.
Smack it with your muzzle.
Oof, I don't think none of that hits.
No. I have 14 AC.
Better.
Okay. Cool. One more time. One more again. Into the breach. 16 and 8.
I get 2 attack, dude.
Oh, I thought you did your 2 because you didn't say reckless.
No, I'm recklessing.
Well, there you go. Never mind.
Still doesn't hit, but whatever.
You know you make all your attacks with advantage, right?
Pretty much. If I'm not recklessing, I have usually pack tactics.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Out of curiosity, what barbarian are you going?
Don't worry about it. 16 would hit, so I'll take. Oof.
My guess probably totem.
Hold on. So you rolled 3d20 there.
Yeah, I'm supposed to roll 4.
I see. Because there's a 5.
5, 8.
5 for prone. That was the 5 for prone, right?
Oh.
So you get to roll again. There we go. See, that's better. Alright. So now do your damage.
Yeah, I killed one.
One of the dire wolves gets absolutely shredded and destroyed. As new guy pounces on him and rips him to shreds. It's getting hard to tell which one is which by the rolling dust cloud of fur and teeth and bone. But at one point, one of them is knocked out of the dust cloud and turns into a puff of smoke and floats away.
Don't most of my summons have like little bits of white hair to look like starlight? To look like stars on their fur?
Starry pattern. He basically turned into a stardust cloud and then blew away on the wind because he got destroyed.
Like, oh, thank God that wasn't a new guy.
Does this count as animal abuse?
No.
Well, technically, they're conjured beings.
Technically, they're
So-
fairies, so it counts as
So
fairy beings.
they attacked me. I got knocked down. So it's my turn again, right?
Yeah, if you took your 7, then yes. Yeah, that's gonna hit.
16 hits. Nine points of damage. Oh fuck.
9 from that.
That's what the fuck the other. Okay, I kept on thinking it was D instead of H.
KD1. You have to still type roll before it. There you go. 12 doesn't hit. Second attack, not a good.
And
It was literally pain watching you roll all those out.
It's fine. His next attack doesn't hit anyway, so that's fine.
Nope. I was thinking, is it H? Is it D or B? It's like no, it wasn't working. So it's like I'm assuming both hits.
Yep. We're also going to have to retcon some stuff after this, because you should not be making 2 attacks around.
Why not? I have extra attack from Barbarian.
Yeah, but
You
that
do,
is-
direwolves don't.
Yes. So
And their class abilities still transfer over.
yes, but you're not taking the attack action. You're taking the bite action. Technically.
What?
Yeah. So that's how monster stat blocks work. If it's not named, if it's not the attack action, which is what your character can do, it's a different action. The bite action is a different action it can do. If it has multi-attack, you can take the multi-attack action and do what it says on the multi-attack. But you should not be making 2 attacks per round. I just realized this. So yeah, that's your one.
But that's also just some fuckery with the stat blocks.
That's how they balance. That's how they balance mystery.
It's a bite. It's a melee weapon attack. It's an attack action.
It's not the attack action. It's a different action.
Look! It's Wizards being stupid with their formatting. Let's just leave it. Move on.
No.
No,
If that
they
was
did
the
that on
case,
purpose.
my build would have been very different.
Well, maybe you should think about that. But that's how that works, my friend. I thought you knew this. I don't know
No.
what's going on. No. So when the multi-attack, extra attack works when you take the attack action on your turn. You are not taking the attack action with any of the animals you turn into. You are taking whatever action you pick from their stat block. That's why Moon Druid Barbarians aren't running amok in D&D, because that would be insane. You'd be doing so much damage. Think of a fucking giant ape being able to punch more than once in a turn. So no, that's not how that works. They did that specifically. It's not a dumb thing. They thought about this. It would make them very powerful as a multi-class option.
Oh fuck me! Then I would have went more druid instead of fucking barbarian.
Well, on level up, you can take druid. No.
So
No, I mean it would have been fucking different instead of 5 levels of barbarian.
I'm sure you can. You sure you can adjust.
We can talk about it. There's retraining options in Tasha's.
Can I redo that then?
Yeah, you can redo that. That's fine. Let's finish what we're doing.
Okay,
Let's
so
finish the session as what you want.
18.
And then we'll switch. 18.
I just lumped all the damage together. 18 total.
From what?
He had to make his 2 strength saves
Assuming he's not dead.
Why are you doing 46?
He
because
just
I
said
hit
he
twice.
combined the damage for 2 attacks.
Yes. You didn't roll the second attack yet. Unless you're
No,
telling
he
me
did.
that
Yes, I
wasn't
did.
reckless.
The
Yeah.
14
Oh, I see.
and the 19.
Right. Okay, I'm dumb. I forgot that you were doing the macro. See, we're figuring out how to run this guy now. This is good. All right. Yeah, sure. 18.
That's my turn. He does need to make a strength save. I doubt it's gonna help.
It won't matter on any of it. You already have advantage against him. If he goes prone, then he can get up on his next turn. So it literally does not matter for anything because even if you get knocked down, then you get up on your next turn anyway. So
Yeah, but I'm also recklessing, so I don't know why he's not attacking with advantage.
That's true. I don't know why I did that. Because his friend died, and I just thought pack tactics was done.
So 8
10
points of
minutes.
damage.
No. 5 points of damage.
Oh,
Nice. Okay, natural 20 does it. So 66 plus 6. It's a fireball from a, or sorry, scorching ray from a sorcerer.
35.
Yeah, it's dead. 35 will do it. Do you have brutal criticals as well? Do you get more damage after that?
No, no.
That's Barbarian 9.
That's fine. Well, in one final poof of sparkly stardust, the last wolf dies, and a haggard-looking, but still very much angry and alive dire wolf is left over.
I'm just gonna dispel.
Yeah, slowly shrinking back into the form of Dalavesh.
Well, that was different.
So do I pass?
I just looked to the other two like I doubt you're gonna say no. So I was gonna like, I guess welcome to the Scholars March. That's our name, by the way.
Yeah, Lord Chance was nice enough to inform me that. I mean, that. Actually, no, I didn't. I don't know the Lord Chance. Never mind. Yeah, that guy with that doesn't like to wake up in the morning told me that.
Well, not a lot of us like to wake up in the morning. Would you like some breakfast?
No thanks. I had a juicy mice on the way here.
That's
Concern.
That is something else.
Well, you're welcome to join us for breakfast. That's cool with you. I'm Tavanta, by the way. Tavanta Simblair, and I hold up my hand for a shake.
He gives you the paw. Like, oh wait, no, I'm not a fucking wolf. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just shaking his hands. Tavanta looking both amused and like uncomfortable at the same time.
Let me ask. How strong is his handshake? I'm curious.
I just
Vash,
Tavanta,
like,
don't roll a strength save. Tavanta's a weak little baby.
do you
You
break
know what?
Tavanta's
No,
ear?
I'm going to the athletics check.
Yes!
Oh,
Break Tavanta's
no.
hand! Do it!
Strength check, please, not athletics. This is not an Olympic sporting event.
Is it still within 1 minute?
Sure. I mean, yeah. No, because
Oh
the next
my-
round your rage would have ended. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, why me? I'm being nice.
No, I didn't roll too good.
He was nice. He's still trying to ace the interview, you guys.
Yeah,
Firm handshake, eye contact. You got to make those in a job interview.
yeah. He's maintaining a lot of heavy eye contact, and you still have the eyes of a dog, and it's slowly turning back. It's a little uncomfortable. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna move the fuck off.
It'd be funny if he was wearing like a tie made of grass that he found that he just tied into the shape of a bow tie.
No, it was a twig, just Y-shaped twig.
He's a Y-shaped twig. He struck to his neck with animal guts or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's how that
Okay. I survived.
You go first.
Anyway, breakfast is served. There's currently a food bell, a food triangle being rung comedically inside the house, alerting everyone that food is ready.
Let's go eat something.
Wilfred's happy to be making breakfast for you, considering that no one else really lives here and you guys don't stay for very long, so there's not much occasion to cook for guests.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Chance stays here with fair regularity when we're in between stuff. So like there's at
Yeah,
least
sure.
like a couple.
But you know, you might order like DoorDash or something every now and then. It's like delivery from the local tavern.
How could you cheat on him?
I don't know why I would do that when I can get food from Wilford for no extra cost.
No, you have to buy
'Cause,
your
like,
food still.
Yeah, I have to buy the food, but I don't have to pay for people to cook it.
This is true. Not yet. I mean, you still have to get staff eventually, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got staff. Like Wilford can't do everything. I'm not gonna have him do everything, but so.
Alright. So, moving on. Breakfast is had and things happen. Is there anything anyone wants to do over breakfast in terms of RP and stuff? Perhaps explaining what the next leg of your journey is to the new guy.
Oh.
Well, what was the plan, Tavanta? Because you were the one who was basically heading up this next leg of the thing.
Well, we're going to head.
What was it, Migran?
Are we retconning what we did last week?
No?
Okay, cool.
You went
So-
through
Because
that and
wasn't
then
last-
came back and took a month and a half off.
Oh, we came back and took a month and a half off.
So, is it?
So we've already been to Migran.
You've already been to Migran. You already know what you know about the core.
Right.
But you were like, I'm not
Alright.
missing my kid's birthday, so we'll take a little bit more time off before we do anything about it.
So we can either head back to Migran and head back to Migran, discover more about the Chantry and how that relates to the core, or we really we don't have anything else too pressing except I believe the coronation will demand you, Lord Chance. So
Wait, this
yeah.
guy's a lord?
technically,
Yes.
Huh.
I'll bow down in those sorts. But
Don't.
You ain't gonna tell me to bend the knee, are ya?
We have
No.
daily
No.
worship sessions every night before bed, and we pray
Moyle,
to him as our God.
Moyle, I swear.
Don't swear; it's very unbecoming of a lord.
My character just laughs and slaps Moyle really hard on the shoulder, saying, I like you.
Oh,
I will say.
Moyle, he's making strength saves, not get fucking bowled over.
get knocked prone. Direwolf strength still left over.
Did I ever get a message off to ever take the Archmage to the side and tell him about what I discovered at the Chantry?
That's up to you. You had a month and a half of planning to do, and a lot of that was probably waiting for stuff to be delivered. So, I would assume so if you wanted to.
Absolutely, I would, especially the name of the saint of the church, basically.
His take on it would be, well, it makes sense for people to see a phenomena they don't understand and immediately attribute it to a god. But the fact that there are accounts, even if it's by the church, of people like having the god speak to them, number one, and then number two, seemingly having been gifted power by said god. That bears an even further question, because if it were really just a ball of magic, it wouldn't be able to grant power necessarily. So there's sentience there that was unexpected.
Question, are they doing this in front of me?
No,
No.
this is sort of a retcon.
This is a flashback that Tavanta's having during breakfast.
Got it.
Just to what the Archmage was talking about. So he's like, well, the fact that it's like, there's accounts of sentience here, and what that means for what this is and what this world is. If it is a new god or a conglomeration of gods, then that would mean, some bullshit, depending on what it's actually about.
And then what of Cilias?
that is, well, you mention it, and he's like, well, that's an interesting coincidence. And then you tell him the story, and he's like, that's not a coincidence. He's like, well, I mean, to have a surviving oracle after all this time, even if he is elvish, he should have been dead centuries ago. What historical records there are of Ciliath, he wasn't necessarily old by elvish standards, but he was still like not multiple thousands of years old, able to live that long, as far as anyone knew. So it's entirely possible that some magical fuckery is going on with Ciliath. I mean, if you wanted to figure that out, he would be interested to know the answer. But that requires finding Ciliath wherever he's at.
Well, the country is celebrating like a 50th year anniversary of I believe the founding of not the founding of the church, but like this is the 50th celebration of this consciousness of embryo awakening.
Yeah.
That they've been able to worship. It's been awakened for so long. And there's a grand pilgrimage to what'd you say was Church Island or something like that?
Cathedral Island.
Cathedral Island, where we could, I mean, if we find a way to get there, but that would be the goal. So I'll see about chartering a course there. We've also are close to investigating that next year. So that'll be our focus, and I'll nod to him and say good day and all that shit.
And then relay the rest of that to the group, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And so basically what we could do is we could wait for the coronation. We could go ahead if we think we can knock it out. It's even like going to the location and back will at least take like a month and some change for chartering a course out to this mystery key. Or if we want to investigate the Chantry more, we could talk to them about letting us go to their pilgrimage to Cathedral Island, because one of those names is very interesting to me. And he looks at like Chance, because he's mentioned the word Ciliath as their prophet before. And only Chance would know what that means.
Oh, just want to say, Strovan give the key to Savanta.
I don't have a key.
That seems pretty key, dude.
The key.
Does it have any special properties?
Do you know which key I'm talking about?
It's the magic key, the one that points to your next treasure or whatever.
Oh yeah, that key.
You also have that to do, just in case you forgot. You have the location of another key if you want to follow that thread.
That's what I was talking about. Going for the mystery key in the middle of the fucking chartering.
Yeah.
Did you know what I mean?
No, we heard you. You were just like, oh, cool, a key. And like, what does this do? And it's like, well, it's the one you were fucking talking about, bro.
I'm not intelligent.
Let me find where I wrote the keys shit. 'Cause I have the keys.
Not intelligence, bros, unite.
Thank you. I meant me in real life, but okay.
I meant me in real life too.
I consider you intelligent.
Hey, you guys too?
Come on, Hunter. You know you want to join us.
Wait, what? Sorry, I zoned out.
Never mind.
Don't worry about it. It's probably not important. My homebrew creations. Did I write the key in here? I might not have. We'll find out.
I gotta roll for today. Wow. I get whoa so often.
All right. Well, anyway, the key is the key is called the Key of Embers. It is a heavy brass key with a ruby stone embedded in the head of it. And when light is shown through the ruby gem onto a map, it reveals the location of one of its sister keys,
Okay.
or at least something important. But whatever important out there is like it's in the middle of the open sea, so you have to charter a ship to get there.
So, and do we like the coronation's probably gonna happen within the next like couple or few weeks, right? Because after we got the whole we have
the
any
news
idea?
of the king dying happened recently, so you can expect about a month where preparations will be made, a procession for the body and a ceremony to commit them to a tomb or whatever would take place, and then according to the king's wishes meant that this was explained in the thing, so I should probably explain it now. I think I've explained it before, but I'll do so again. The king's wish and the reason why the country is split into provinces was to give each of his sons a province to rule over, and then for the people and also themselves to determine who is going to be king. So the ones who rule their kingdom the best, and make Onick the best it can be, have the better chance of gaining the right to kingship, despite who was born first or whatever. But on top of that, if the prince abdicates his right to the throne, then obviously the next runner-up goes. So
wasn't there only one prince that seemed like they were interested in having the title to being a king? Like, I'm fairly certain the guy that's partying away his people's money gave nary a fuck.
There's two who were wanting to have it.
There's two. So Brahm doesn't necessarily want the throne. He's happy where he is, and he's cool with just his province. He doesn't want to be king, to have the responsibility or whatever. He likes his position at the moment and watching over Cernan province. But his people love him, so obviously they want him to be king. Redka is universally vilified by his people, except for those who work for him, because they're paid very.
He doesn't want the role anyway because it's too much work.
He would want to rule because then he'd have access to the entire country's coffers. So he's certainly in the running for king, but he's not the most popular choice. And then there's Ursula, who obviously would want the crown, and whose people have been prosperous, if nothing else, under his direction. It's a firm hand, but one that has seen his province grow and develop in a way that is more than the others. So
we would want a Brahm or the latter one. Definitely not the.
Not Redka. Did not fucking Redka.
I mean, the Redka would be so fun. I'm kidding. Yeah. No, we don't.
I would think Chance would back Brahm. Because.
Well, we don't have to worry about that right now.
I mean, he's the guy that gave you the thing anyway, right?
Yeah, but I was saying, like, bias aside,
it came from the province. Brahm was there in a ceremonial aspect. He's got other things to worry about as well as Larishev.
It's just the fact that I'm just thinking that.
So it's less of a personal appointment rather than he earned it, and that's what his council told him to do, because that's what has been done before.
But the thing with Ursula, adventurers already kind of toe the line a bit in regards to what's acceptable. He feels like having someone who's that strict on the throne would very much get in the way of his plans.
Yeah. For reasons I will not tell, I also support this.
To the point where if Ursula got the throne, I wouldn't be surprised to get a letter saying, "Hey, you have to stay in your position. You cannot leave." And you can get fucked if you think you can do adventuring now.
I think that's a bit of a leap. That's just me. But okay. Tavanta keeps his opinions about it to himself.
I mean, chance will say like, it's not a high chance of it happening.
I don't like him because he, puts people on pikes.
Tavanta simply nods and continues on with the meal. So, continues on what we were saying. So, the coronation will require at least our dearest Lord Chance to journey, but we don't really have anything pressing lined up, if you know what I mean. We could contact the college to see if they have any work, or we can. What I'm saying is that our other endeavors, as personal or open as they may be, will require quite a bit more time than I think the coronation will allow.
I mean, we could always try and find something.
What'd you say?
We could always try and find something that isn't with the college. Go look around the town, see if there's anything to do.
I'll look to Chance. You heard anything from the mayor that needs to be done?
Good question.
Probably not. Unless there's some other rumors that I didn't do for you yet.
Yeah, unless I'm being told like, oh hey, there's some bandits harassing merchants on the highway or some shit.
No, Lersha's pretty set. The only things you haven't really followed up on is the fact that your private eye dude is missing completely. So.
Yeah, I at this stage, I think Chance would actually go like, because I assume like the mayor has like keys to a lot of these buildings, like before closing or some shit, like tax evasion, that kind of shenanigans for official business.
He wouldn't have a key to anyone's business, but you could get in.
Oh, fucking finally fixed everything. God.
The guard breaking the door.
I could cast knock on the door.
Yeah, that's the more civil way to do it. Thank you.
Cast knock and then.
I mean, I could knock.
No, hey.
No, your knock, her knock.
No. I got
Keep
this.
the door open. Your knock is property damage.
What? You're saying I can't control my strength? I'm offended.
I love your enthusiasm. Let's do this now.
And he just slams down the fist on the table, and there's just a slight indentation.
You see the thing is, he
just bought furniture.
I just bought that table.
Yeah, sorry. He tried to brush it off. It comes out. See, just had to buff it off.
I just, excuse me, can I just get, I had like move him, like gesture for him to move slightly to the left, and I cast Mending.
Mending repairs breaks and objects, not dents.
Well, that's your spot now.
Wilfred, remind me how much this table cost.
It was a sizable portion of the budget sale. Several hundred gold.
Yeah, that's about what I thought it was.
Hey, let's go check out certain eye positions. I hope.
Yes. Let's get out of here before our new compatriot somehow manages to cause more property damage.
Wait, why the fuck do you have 100 gold worth of table?
Because he's a lord. We don't
Lords have
fancy.
fancy.
I'm
That's
expected
stupid.
to maintain a level of decorum, and also you would not want to have seen this mansion when I first moved in.
I think you would
Yeah,
have.
you're probably right, Toronto, but the mansion as it is after 10,000 gold spent to get everything repaired, and I'm still not done.
Oh, why the hell did you get a fucking dump that needed 10,000 gold to repair?
Because
So
I
that's
believe it was a
fine.
gift.
It
It
was a
was
responsibility.
It
Yeah.
was
That's what it
a
was.
warning to our dearest Lord Chance for outstanding performance in combat.
Chance is all. There's a bit of chance for a second. Thanks. Oh my god! I think I may have rather have fucking Strovan, and then the rest of him immediately kills that part, and then he just leaves.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
I
All
don't
right,
know where you're going. Where? What is happening next? Are you going?
we're going to Third Inquisition to see. But
we don't really have a direction.
All right.
yeah, we're basically going Third Inquisition to at least investigate because
You do have a direction. To be fair, you have several, but whatever you want to do next. So going into town, knocking on Third Eye Inquisition's door. You see that the mayor has already posted a notice of eviction. Since he's defaulted on so many payments. The notice
he's
is
been-
like, hey, get up to date on your shit, or we'll repossess your stuff.
yeah.
That was posted
Foreclosure.
within the last
The
month.
term you're looking for is foreclosure.
Well, it seems that he was renting the building from the town, so.
Flamora, if you'll open the door.
Knock, knock, cast knock.
Sure. The door opens to a dusty interior that is just it's covered head to toe in dust because it hasn't been opened or touched in many months, probably 4 months at this point. Inside, you see there's a small waiting room in the front with a table and some chairs, very simple furniture. And then there's a door to the back offices where you have been before.
Flamora, you get that door open. Let's look around and see if there's any idea where our detective went.
It is open.
The second door.
Wait. Oh,
The door in the
door.
back.
There's a back door.
Knock.
Okay.
Knock, knock, motherfucker.
Okay, so
All right,
inside the office, there's his very simple desk. There's a dried out inkwell with a quill embedded in it.
The fact that he didn't put a cap on the ink will piss his chance off more than anything else he seemed to do.
You see that there are a number of papers haphazardly strewn about the desk, and there's a couple of chairs for clients to sit in inside of this room, as well as a bookshelf with like a couple of books on it. Like he doesn't have a lot.
What are the books?
Like principles of investigation and detective work, and a couple of like noir style detective novels, stuff like that. Nothing too exciting at all.
Chance will look over the papers on the desk, see if there's any indication where this motherfucker may have gone.
Sure. It's the papers on the desk are it's a copy of a client agreement between Nash Glenfellow, who is the proprietor of Third Eye Inquisitions, and one Conley Hellban, agreeing that he would investigate for X amount of money and return with whatever he found. And it details payment, down payment of like 100 gold or whatever, just for expenses and travel, and then the rest of the payment to be agreed upon in an amount no less than 1,000 gold upon his return, despite whatever he might find, and then with bonuses negotiable.
Is there an indicated time frame of how long it's supposed to be?
No.
Okay.
Can I? Because I have sending stones, but they're all like two-way, right? There's no way I can cast sending on just any
You-
person.
You have the super sending stone, which allows you to cast sending once per day, I believe.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that tuned to the Archmage only?
No, you have one of your own. The sending part of that, you can send as much as you want to per day, so long as you know, number one, someone has another unlimited sending stone, and number two, what their sigil combination is, aka their phone number. If you don't know those two things, then you can cast sending once as normal per day, and then the stone loses its power after that. And it
Okay, I'm gonna
regains it at the next dawn.
Have I ever met the dude for Third Eye Inquisitions? I believe I have once.
No.
He walked in. I haven't?
You have not met him. The only ones who have are Chance and I think Conlea are the only two who ever actually met Third Eye Inquisitions guy. The rest of you didn't really do that much investigating or anything like that with him.
I mean, my first character did.
Also true, but he doesn't exist, so
He's rude. He still exists.
he's around. But he
I
doesn't
tossed
really...
the sending stone to. Actually, I don't toss because hand-eye coordination. So I hand the sending stone to Chance and like suggest he make a call.
Don't I need to attune to this thing first?
Yeah, it's an attunement thing.
Well, then we're fine.
I mean, unless you want me to just spend an hour just breaking attunement to the one thing and then attuning to this and then just breaking it and handing it back.
You know his name. I don't know that you have to be... How familiar does this spell say you have to be? One of you has sending. Ping it in chat.
I don't.
I don't.
Druid should have it.
I do not.
Star Cow.
Druids have sending as a
I
field
want
spell, right?
He's supposed to because the stone gives him that spell.
Also
Third
that.
level, third level evocation, and it's not for druids. You send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with you are familiar.
Yeah.
I
you never
was
met
supposed
the
to point
guy.
out that,
you know his name, so you could send a message to...
And I just point out, Savantine, if you don't have the spell on your list, the magic item does give you the unlimited sending stone.
I'm aware. I'm aware. It's difficult to put spells in this bitch, damn it.
Yeah. It's a bit of a...
Laughs as soon as I just finished putting all the second level druid spell on my sheet just now.
Yeah, motherfucker. Welcome to my shit, bitch.
Yes, but it took me less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, but you're not working on a phone.
No, I put every single level 1 and level 2 spells.
Yeah, but no, he's saying you're not having to do that from a fucking phone. You have a PC to do it on.
This is true.
Point being, you can cast sending. You have his name now.
Additional druid spells. Third level. Aura elemental weapon revivifies summon Fey, but it's not on the normal shit.
Yeah.
Though I'm fully expecting this dude is fucking dead. Just dunzo.
I mean, again, we have other stuff. VG, how long do we think we could do any of the... We have the key to investigate.
Yep.
We have the Chantry to investigate.
Yep.
We have Chance's map in another continent to investigate.
Yeah.
The same continent where this guy apparently went to, by the way.
Yeah.
Where who went to?
Nash. Third Eye Inquisition's guy.
Right. That's where he went. And yeah, those are our major headings. If correct me if I'm wrong.
Those are a few of the big ones. I don't know. You've learned a lot about certain things you can do exploring. You could go to Netria and see how that works out, because you know that the church has a bigger presence in continental Netria than anywhere else.
Correct.
You also
But
know that
also,
there
that
are,
would be- sorry. Go
you know,
ahead.
there's stuff in Araval that can be done. There's leads to follow up there that you've already mentioned, but there's also, you know, civilizations there and people living there and stuff like that. And then and then if you want to interact with Onyx Royal Court, that's another thing that exists that you can go and try and figure out how to do. If you wanted to
Unfortunately,
leverage some kind of, you know, if you wanted to leverage any kind of influence, then perhaps
Its
a visit
chances
to court would be a good
actually
idea.
against.
I was
So,
going.
Go ahead.
Meanwhile, Delabash is just following her along. It's just like, ah, why the fuck are we at this dusty place?
Because he hasn't shown up in like months, apparently.
Okay, he's sucking died. Okay, so why are we here? Ooh, are we looting his place?
No, don't touch anything. Or don't
So
steal anything.
my question to you, VG, is most of the big things take us off continent, and the least of those things is the key, which is 28 there and back, not including days we spend there. So
And
what I'm asking is, Chance needs to be at that coronation. Do we have anything lined up that can be done? And
he also likely needs to be at the funeral too.
He doesn't
That's-
need to be. It's not a requirement for you to be there. It is something that you could do.
It is a requirement, but not. It is a requirement, but not because it's expected as like he's being told like by whoever's in charge, whoever his higher up is, nobility saying, "Hey, be here." No, he needs to be there because of his fucking contract with Stroman.
Yeah, it's kind of an expectation that you participate in stuff. And this is an official function that you should probably go to. It's one of those things where it's like you don't have to go, but you should go.
so
It's like homework's not mandatory, but you should do the homework.
what do we have lined up? Basically, besides like exploration and like getting in with the royalty, like besides the more like vague shit, what do we have that we can do and probably be back in time for that?
I have a random question.
Ask.
Ask questions
is-
first so I can try and answer everything at once.
Is the teleportation circle in the mansion repaired?
No.
Okay.
You would need to know teleportation circle, and then you need to cast it there every day for a year. So
Like there's a busted up circle in a room in the manor, but well, it's
Yeah.
busted.
exactly, it's magic is long gone, and the circle is busted up in such a way that you'd need to redo it. So
Entirely.
Got it.
you could also just
And-
turn that room into something else if you really wanted to. Like if you wanted to make that, it's a secret room, so if you wanted to make that into like storage for important items or whatever, that could certainly be done.
Oh yeah.
If you wanted to make that into an enchantment laboratory or some shit, you spend a little bit extra money and you get a couple of enchanting tables and equipment, and you can turn that into a workshop.
How about a drug lab? No. Okay.
I like
You can cook Arcanine
the teleportation
Death
circle.
in the back of
Turning
your
it into a
head.
teleportation circle isn't a terrible idea, honestly.
Good luck getting someone down here to cast that for a year. Unless you want to spend
Yeah.
a year doing downtime.
No. I don't even have the spell.
But yeah, so again, my question is, what in our current list of like quests and objectives that aren't like very vague can we do probably
don't-
within that period of time?
Not a
With
lot.
what we have on the docket, fuck all. We'd have to come up with something else to do in the meantime. You've been speaking. I've been trying to speak too, motherfucker.
There's not a lot you can really do that doesn't take a while to do. You also do not know a timeline for any kind of coronation. It's a deliberation that I mean, you're not involved in court, so you don't know how long it's going to take. You don't know what the process is.
We could probably like
It could take a
ask.
month. It could take 2 months. It could take 3. It could take 6. I don't know. It'd be a good idea to ask that. I told you that you can expect it to take a month, but that's from your prior knowledge of how kingdoms work, which is not at all necessary to what happens. So
Like honestly, it might be a good idea just to go to Onick and like maybe ask some people, some of the staff of the college, because they've been around. They probably might know.
I can send. Yeah, I want to talk to Dralis anyway, so that's all.
I'll just go to Onick. Go to the capital.
I also need.
Well, here's this. You also, I will remind you that you have a few books in your library that aren't moth-eaten, and this was a noble's house, so.
Okay, well, I asked what those books might have been, but he never fucking told me.
Well, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Do you have it in your notes? That's what I'm wondering. Because if I didn't mention some books, then I can maybe give you one more, make it a little bit easier on you.
I don't think you mentioned any books. You just said that pretty much everything here's fucked.
Yeah, most of the books there were fucked, yes, but there are some that aren't. I don't know if you ever investigated that or not. If you didn't, then I can do that now.
I think Chance lived here long enough to have explored the mansion, so like.
Right,
like I feel like.
mansion, but would you have taken time to read, or would you have not?
Yes.
Okay.
like to the point where I'm comfortable saying I could have reasonably just taken a 20 with the amount of time that he would have spent.
Oh yeah, easily. So I mean, yes, a lot of the books need to be repaired or replaced. Most of them need to be replaced. There were a couple of like history books that were mostly like accounts of military battles, military conflicts that happened, likely from not the previous matriarch, but the patriarch before him, the old Aragonasi Fucko, the admiral. So there's a lot of like, military strategy looking shit, like there's diagrams and this battle was won by this person, and it was decisive that this cavalry made this move at the time that it did, because then it forced this guy to retreat, and then that forced them into an uncomfortable position, and they ended up winning the battle, that kind of stuff.
Chance will actually take enough interest in these to at least restore the history book, get them restored.
I mean, you could just get another copy is the idea of that too. If you wanted to like restore a historical tome, you need like a tome that's worth it.
If it's not a first edition, books are it's just better to buy a new one.
Exactly. That's why I said most of them need to be replaced, because it's not worth restoring most of them. One of the books, however, because noble houses and such, there is a history of Onick in terms of succession, and I have a family tree somewhere. I don't know if I have it in my images or what. Let me find out. If I have it saved in my images, then that's great, because that means I don't have to copy it from my notes, and I don't know that that's going to work. Let me go back here. Let's see. Nope, that's too good. Nope. Nope. There it is. Let's throw that into general chat. There's a family tree there, as well as accountings of like what kings did during their time, who they were, great achievements they did, if any, etc., etc.
Who's Barnabas?
Barnabas Onick, the professor from the college.
Oh, I forgot which one he was.
He's the tiefling.
What? I don't remember what he was, because I think did I speak to him yet at all?
One of you did. I don't remember who.
Wait, what was his thing? Like, what does he teach?
I'm going to find that for you in a second.
Because he may have been the potion guy that we got the things for.
No, he's not. That was someone else. Barnabas is a tiefling. The other guy was a human-looking.
Snape looking ass.
Okay, so you got the thing for Fenris Berghast. He's the professor of physics. Barnabas Onick, a professor of extraplanar studies, Thundermist Academy.
Okay, we're going to Onick. I need to talk to that man.
So his seminars teach the students about the dangers of planar infiltration, conjuration, magic, summoning rituals, portal craft, and more. Yep.
Yeah, we're going on.
Sounds fucking boring.
Well, hopefully there's something big to hit on the way, buddy.
Okay, so in
Also,
terms of, hold on, let me do the book because that's what we're doing right now. So accounting this, so it took some time for sentient life to reemerge from beneath the continental shard now known as Onick. Caspar Onick is the first guy. He was the first feudal lord to rise to power after the breaking, and established his kingdom in the heartland of the continent, eventually spreading his influence throughout the entirety of the continental shard. King Caspar and his wife Queen Johanna sired two sons, Hans and Balder, who began the line of great Onician sorcerer kings that persists to this day. While the current members of the royal family are descended from King Hans Onick, Prince Balder's line ended at his grandson, Prince Joseph Onick, who was disowned for reasons unknown, much to the dismay of his grandfather, who soon died after of a broken heart. Other scandalous members of the royal family include Prince Gunther Onick II, who entered a romantic partnership with a servant named Bruno Lasker and never sired an heir. The current Onician king, King Mestra Onick, is the only king to have been succeeded by three sons, Onick's current heirs. Their cousin Barnabas Onick is an instructor at the famous Thogrivist Academy in Onick's capital, but because he was born a tiefling, a scandal among the royal family at the time, he has abdicated his claim to the throne. So,
Oh, okay.
there you go.
Why are these all fuckers all like confusing? Why?
Now, and I have to ask: is Victoria still alive, or because I haven't heard her be mentioned at all, so I assume no.
Hold on. I'm going to paste this in chat as well, in case you want to save that somewhere or copy it in a future date. Can I copy just the... shit.
You could always screenshot. That's your best friend.
No, I'm trying to see if I can copy just the,
BRB.
just the text. Keep text only. If I can just copy just the text only, that makes copy pasting a lot better. Nope, it doesn't do that. Alright, cool. Well, okay, so yeah, there's that. If you want to copy it later, you can. Who are you looking for? Victoria?
Yeah,
No. There's no.
it would only.
No mention of a queen currently. This book was written a long time ago, so accounts of her still being alive are there in this book, but it's not an up-to-date book. So. Short answer is you don't know. It would be a good idea if you wanted to find out to go to court or find another more recent historical accounting.
Is this one worth restoring? Because it does seem to be an older tome here. Or is this just like a thing that is?
I mean, it's
I am the back.
it's a book. It's not up to date, number one. Number two, it's destroyed. So it'd probably bear replacing with a more accurate book.
All right, well, that'll be on the docket. Chen's is already planning on filling out the library here, but I guess we're heading to Onick.
To the Onick.
To the Onick.
Out of curiosity, I know how Onick is the capital of the kingdom, but like, do any of the provinces have a quote unquote capital?
Yeah, each province has a capital.
Hey, if we're going to Onick,
Why not look for a job on the way here? Just saying. There's always gonna be somebody traveling to Onick. It's the capital. Mercenary guard, whatnot. Few coins.
Uh, for posterity's sake, Sine is the capital of Cernan province. Jasto is the capital of Zatmorvis province.
And remind me, Redka is which one's Redka? Is it Morvis or Darvilla?
Darvilia.
Darvilia.
Zatmorvis is
Darvilia.
Ursival. Darvilia is Redka.
Yeah, I thought Morvis was Ursula because the fucking people Vlad the Impaler in the square in Zasny.
Hold on a second. Redka. Redka Onick. I didn't write which one was the capital of Darvilia, so I think the idea was it was. No, wait, I did. Didn't I put it in towns and such? Province, Darvilia province. Here we go. Wait, is this somewhere else? That's Darvilia. Hawthorne, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's Arvelgrain. Arvelgrain in Darvilia province is the capital.
Okay. But yeah, do we want to see if anyone wants some escorts on the way to Onick?
This is light
Okay.
escort work. Not that kind of escort, but yeah.
Because I don't think that these roads are particularly dangerous, are they?
No. It's one of the perks of being in certain provinces that Brahm takes care of a lot of that.
Yeah, so I don't even think that's worth even asking because we're just gonna get looked at like, why?
I mean, there's not many people here who resort to banditry because most people are well off enough that they don't need to resort to it. There are a couple of poorer peasant towns, but they're farmers and they have land, so it's not a big deal. At least not here. In other places, maybe. Okay, so yeah, if you want to travel to Onick, that's fine. Just move you over there. That's half a week of travel, rather. Something like that. To take a weird, so 3.5 days of travel. You'd get there around midday. 3 days later. What were you planning on doing when you go to Onick? Are you just gonna go to the library and do more research? You're gonna try and find a bookstore with a more accurate accounting? Are you gonna go talk to people at court?
Talk to people at court, but I also want to speak to Barnabas.
Okay.
Savanta's gonna, if they're gonna go to court, Savanta's gonna split off and see if he can't get an appointment with Dryalis.
Okay.
I'm also gonna sneak off to go buy more spells.
And question: would it be bad form to ask any the nobility here, hey, I'm kind of new to this, so when should I expect the coronation? Because I feel like I need to be there.
Not necessarily.
Dalavesh tells.
If you're looking for
Dalavesh
information about your own shit, then probably not. It'll be fine.
Dalavesh said, you guys go do whatever the hell you want. I'm gonna be at the inn drinking my ass off until you need me.
You do that.
I mean, somebody had to watch this stuff, right? Just in case. And frankly, there's not much thing to hit here.
Okay.
What?
Do they have fighting pits?
For
in Onick?
some reason, when he said that, Chant gets a tingle on his spine, saying, "Oh dear God, did he just jinx it?"
So you're spending the next 3 or 4, well, probably actually city-wise. If you're spending the next 6 hours in a tavern drinking, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna be drinking. I mean, I'm gonna be
Hanging out, right?
yeah,
Okay.
just sizing up anybody that looks threatening and whatnot. Not start to pick a fight but just sizing them up in case they might be, I might have to fight them later.
Depends on where you go. You have enough money on you, I think. I don't know what you've spent it on yet, but you should.
Oh no, I didn't spend any money, and I'm at the tavern where everybody's staying at, the inn.
Well, that's up to them. Are you staying at the more fancy one, or are you staying at like hole in the wall?
Savanta votes for fancy.
And
Dalavash votes for camp on the fucking road.
I vote for
How
fancy
much
tier
was
one.
the fancy again?
The fancy one was 1 gold a night for the room, and then it has an attached, like I guess, it has like an attached like wine cellar or whatever. It's like it's fancy shit. So it's a gold for just the room by itself, and then if you want to spend any money on like the fancy wine and drink they have and food and whatever that they have there, then that's up to you.
Yeah.
But it's all fancy all the time. If you're gonna go for that one, which is the one that I give to you the first time. If you don't want to do that one, then I have another option.
I mean,
You have something that's like you said. We said hole in the wall. Do you know like it's cozy or like it's like out of the way?
Out of the character, you're here on official capacity. Just saying.
I also only have 14 gold to my person.
Yeah. So it's 1 gold to stay the night, and then food and drink is extra. If you wanted to go to like, a dive bar and a cheap inn, then there's that portion of the city. There's one there called the Mug and Mash, which is like the definition of a dive bar in medieval times.
Is there anything like an in between those
Sure.
two extremes?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a reasonably priced merchant's tavern somewhere in the gold quarter or whatever. I ended up calling it.
Let's say there, because chances is probably diverting a bit too much of his income to fixing his house at this stage as he realizes it.
Sure. If you want them to feed you, it's 1 gold. If you want to just get the room by itself, it's 5 silver.
Savanta splits from the party, takes the fancy place, and doesn't eat because he's continuing his diet of good berries.
Okay, a gold
That's
for
in the
room
budget.
and a gold for room and board. I can deal with that.
Room and board and food.
Yeah, room board for it. Yeah, room board and food. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I'm sorry, wasn't the fancy place pretty much the same thing? Except
No.
for, 1
Fancy
gold per
place
night?
is 1 gold for just the room. If you want to buy food, then it's like a restaurant. You have to order, and it costs you.
Okay.
So, in the interest of saving at least a little bit of money, but also not getting robbed and stabbed in the night. Regular place.
Yes, I don't need to worry about going to the restaurant
If
because
you're looking for a place to bar fight, then the Mug and Mash is where you go. It's up to you.
Mug and mash!
yeah, fair that's good.
So I think we're probably just like fucking split up across the town at this stage. Fuck.
Sure. Well, it's some of you are going to the college. I don't think what's his face is going anywhere else. Vash. I don't think Dalavash is going anywhere other than dive bar because he doesn't have much interest here.
Dalavash said he's going to go into Mugged and Dash, but he actually goes to a fancy place, and while you guys are all doing that shit, he's pampering himself in the bathtub and just cleaning.
Sure.
That would be funny.
He's doing no, it's not funny. That's what he's doing. He's doing the most girlish shit ever. Scented lavender candles, just like.
Yeah, pedicure. All right. He takes a gigantic like metal file to his toenails. It's been growing out.
Yep, that's what he's doing. Seriously.
Excellent.
And like has to get like a fucking cucumber the size of his fucking head just so he has something to put over his eyes.
See, he gets it.
Okay, but yeah,
We
Chance
got
will.
politics and the college.
All right. You all know how much you need to cost for everything, so remove your gold as needed. Let's do Barnabas first, and then we'll do Dry Alice, and then you can do whatever comes afterward. So Barnabas, easy enough to find with his office hours. You can go and join him there. So knocking on his door, obviously he has his nameplate on it, etc., etc. Walking in, it's a fairly standard office. He's got a desk. He's got several diagrams of summoning circles, like taped and pinned up on the wall. He's currently in the middle of writing in a large tome that he has on his desk, with his spectacles on in front of him. I think he's in. Is he in characters? He's scrolled up in characters somewhere, I'm sure. Yeah.
He might be.
Yes, he's above Talishstein. If you scroll up to March 22nd, he's the first one from March. The tiefling in the red robes.
Oh.
With the red circle.
Ah,
There you go.
that guy.
Yes.
Okay.
He says, "Ah, hello. I was not expecting you. Chance Fairweather, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
I've heard
Chance-
about your exploits from my colleagues. Been very useful to us, as far as I can understand.
Well, it's not. I appreciate the compliments. Chance is kind of slightly distracted because he's looking at the various summoning circles because professional curiosity given his expertise.
Sure. Well, understandable. So what do I owe the pleasure? You and your Eidolon here visiting me at my office hours.
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to discuss about. Given your field of expertise, I wanted to pick your brain a bit.
Very well.
See, I was not exactly the most formally trained in the summoning arts. To a degree I was, but kind of got into a bit of trouble myself and had to leave my circumstances at that time. And one of the things I never quite able to gather somewhat is, while I'm under the impression, and I believe this to be the truth, that in my method of summoning Moyle here, I may have contacted, made, what's the word? I'm actually out of character, drawing a blank what the word is here.
Ancestor?
Came in contact, made I think contact
Contract?
as well. No, it's not contract, as VG has not unceasingly reminded me.
Yes. You have...
Come into contact, let's go with that.
Yeah, sure. Come into contact, or I have, I forget what it's... I don't know. I'm struggling to find a good word for it, too. It's not a contract, so it's like, I have,
Bounty?
I've bound myself to the essence of this creature. That's what I would say.
I have made contact with what I can only assume is a distant fiendish ancestor. And the nature of which I thought I might be able to get your expertise on.
Well, alrighty then. What do you know about your family history?
Admittedly, not a lot.
Give me a ballpark. What do you know?
There's also a part where Hunter is trying to think of something because Chance had very little contact with his parents.
I don't think of something. Were they human? Were they tiefling?
As far as I can remember, my parents were human most of the part. The fiendish nature of, well, Chance will gesture to himself. was a bit of a surprise.
Yes, that seems to be a recurring theme for us. Okay. And they did not speak of any ancestral baggage that did not seem to be guarded when bringing up other family members or things that happened in the past, either to them and their families.
None that I'd ever asked about.
And considering your
Che-
lordship, do you have a family tree somewhere that can be traced? Perhaps in Onisian official records that I could research at some point?
No. My family were out in the. Well, they were not much to speak of, quite frankly.
Yeah. Rex to riches. Sounds good. Then is there well, let's start with this. Where do you hail from that I can begin tracing back perhaps what happened?
Chance is trying to think of a convenient of an answer. Well, I came from I come from a small village, one that recently actually settled, as opposed to just moving about.
So you were nomads before. You were not an established. I understand. That life on the road is very tough. Well, considering this, it will be hard to track down your ancestor, but perhaps they did. There is no living family to talk to?
No.
Most unfortunate. Well, tracing back lineage like this usually requires some kind of record or oral tradition at the very least, though I understand with given circumstances this is not necessarily possible. Barring that, unless you have some kind of ability to contact this whoever your ancestor was, either beyond death or from another place, which I do not recommend you do, by the way, then I'm afraid that this is going to require lots of time and effort and magic to procure what we need.
If I may, as I understand it, tieflings do tend to bear certain magical abilities depending on what variations that might indicate some shared.
Not necessarily depending on their ancestry, but where it manifests differently depending on the nature of the blood exchange that happens, the tainting of the blood, some people call it. It is tieflings more often than not are a result of a deal between devilry and mankind. Therefore, a lot of different manifestations of powers happen, but technically speaking, it's also possible for demons to be involved as well, depending on different circumstances, which can manifest similar abilities. If you're looking to try and find this ancestor, you'd need to find a way to contact them. Also, worth doing research on who they are, because as Professor Dorialis will tell you, names are power. Invoking the name of this patron would, perhaps, with given enough magical push, grant you some form of audience or interest, though I mean, granted that interest is not necessarily something you want from anything in your ancestry. Unless you have an earlier ancestor that you know about that perhaps was not this extraplanar creature that we could contact after death. Perhaps quiz him.
No. Unfortunately, there's no one for me to contact.
Well, It remains a mystery, though I know that there are certain divination spells that can find things for you. The stories, perhaps, of the past, though are archaic and oftentimes cryptic as well. This could be done with the correct amount of research and ritual.
You see, when he says research and ritual, you know what Chance hears? Chance hears money I don't got.
Money or power. Specifically, you are magically inclined, yes?
Yes, as a part of the bond I share with Moyle over here, I do have access to magic I likely would not have otherwise.
How versed are you in... Actually, let me find out what this is first of all before I start saying things. One moment! Divination magic. How versed are you in divination magic?
I'm not actually to pull up the... Well, I am more evocation inclined.
Yes, of course. Well, there is a spell that can be used to gain a recollection of past events, although generally speaking can be very cryptic, can be exaggerated, different than reality, but will give you at least some truth as to the nature of your question that you ask. Fairly expensive, is somewhere in the neighborhood of 450 gold to cast it. And it takes quite a while to perform the ritual, but if you have the money and you wish to commission this, I can certainly perform the service. I have done so for many people. A lot of times other nobles or people who aspire to be nobles will ask me to find their family tree, and I make them pay first so that they have at least some kind of side business going.
Understandable. I may have someone I can turn to who might be able to assist, but if that doesn't work, I will definitely turn to him.
Not a problem. In the meantime, any information you can find out about yourself is very helpful for this, because any true information you can find will help us decipher what we get back from the spell.
Yeah. Chance will actually kind of just glance at the summoning circles around. So, are these your notation, or are these sort of a standard?
They are examples for my students, depending on different kinds of summoning magic, different circles, different versions of script. Sometimes pentagrams, symbology is all very different depending on what is being attempted. For example, of course, to summon your own Eidolon, you use an Infernal script the first time you did it. Following that, you don't necessarily have to draw a circle, but you have on your forehead, I see, the inscription for his symbol, as does he. It is different for perhaps a celestial summon or a Fey summon, which are probably the most common, the Fey summons. They usually use some form of Sylvan script or something to invoke the creature or the spirit in the first place.
Yes. What landed me in the unfortunate set of circumstances was I deviated from the standard, what you would expect with the normal script, and added my own blood into the mixture for drawing the circle.
Okay. Well, that is quite a bond to make, although not unheard of for Eidolons such as these. So this one is directly tied to your lineage, I'm assuming, then.
As far as I'm aware, yes. Do you have anything to comment on this discussion, Moyle?
No, why would I?
Chance will kind of just almost theatrically just drop his head and just sigh,
I thought we've gone over this, Master. I know nothing. I'm a facsimile, a conjured creation. Existence is pain and always will be, so long as I exist. Well, there you go. This is true. Eidolon, generally speaking, are raw power given form and life in this material plane, drawn from a source. So he would not necessarily retain any information because it is not a creature you are summoning or anything like that. It is just an aspect of its power, its magical essence, if you will.
Yes, well, as odd as it may seem, I do prefer to treat Moyle as his own thing. Makes it.
Well, that makes you better than some, I suppose. Regardless, in order to continue this investigation, of course, you need to have the materials and information necessary, I suppose. If you wish to pursue that any further, then I may be able to assist you.
Well, I will keep that in mind. Thank you. This conversation has been quite enlightening.
Of course, no problem. Is there anything else I can help you with? Any questions about the process of summoning that you have not figured out for yourself, perhaps?
Well, there is a spell I've been meaning to that has come to. Okay, Vigi, how do gain new spells? Is that just from experimentation, or is that just just that comes to me in a dream or some shit?
You level up. You level up, and you can manipulate your power to do certain things. So it's kind of like the way a sorcerer would do it, where if they have the power to cast it, they can cast it, and if they've figured out how to do it. So it's a certain amount of practice and theory thrown together, and depending on the spell, the way you learn new spells is just by leveling up. So every level you've gained enough experience and practice to learn how to cast one spell given the power that you've gained.
Well, something I've tried to think on is, well, if Moyle happens to be removed from the equation in combat, I am drastically at disadvantage. And I recently had the idea of transmuting some of my own essence into a construct to provide a stand-in until I can summon Moyle again later, because the ritual to summon him takes a considerable amount of time and thus can't not be done in the midst of life and death combat.
Fair enough. You were thinking about yes, blood warriors. Yes, I've heard of this. Blood magic is very touchy. Usually, requires some kind of sacrifice. But this one is as long as it uses your own essence and you're cool with it, then go for it. What is the question, though?
Well, I'm mostly trying to understand some of the specifics on the spell. This is out of character. This is Chance basically trying, because Chance has the idea of this, has the idea of the spell. He's apparently hearing the spell's actually a thing, and is basically trying to hash out a bit more of the specifics so he can cast it later. Because I want to have a bit of fun with this idea of him learning this particular spell.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are different methods for invoking it. The most popular one is by ritual. The wizard who summons uses their own life bot and the components therein that are required as part of the spell to form an anchor for the conjured construct. For those of us with natural powers, such as sorcerer's origins, or for yourself who draws power from your Eidolon, this would require you to perform a similar level of magic, but probably take lots of practice. And also many materials, some of which are fairly expensive, depending. But essentially, what you are trying to do is using your own blood as a catalyst to create a warrior in the shape of, well, a fighter, some form of armored being, and bring that to shape using your own lifeblood, your own life essence. It can take a little bit out of you, certainly. You may feel fairly tired, but this can be done on the fly, or if you wish to, say, create more powerful version of your construct, you also have that option. Of course, the more power you choose to expend, the more tired you will be, but also the more powerful the construct.
Yeah, that's gives something to think on. I thank you for your time.
Of course. If there's any other discussions we wish to have, please feel free to let me know. You already seem to know my office hours, so just come back at around this time after class. Or, of course, send a message or a owl or something to tell me.
I'll be certain to do that.
Really well. Are you also in town for the to pay respects to my distant uncle?
Yes. Also here to find out when the coronation is, because relatively new to the whole nobility thing, and I feel like not attending such an event would probably be a bit of a faux pas.
It depends. I will make. I myself plan to make an appearance, but I will not be as much involved. If you're looking for the court is in session starting in the morning around 9 o'clock, ends sometime in the afternoon to give the pompous windbags time to refill their air.
Chance actually let out a small chuckle at that one, 'cause that was a good one.
Just know this: they do a lot of talking, not a lot of actual doing. There are many people vying for power, especially when there is a vacuum that needs to be filled. Granted, that will be filled by one of the princes, but each one of their constituents has something to gain from having their own influence raised, as we can say.
Who do you think
Positions
is
of power.
best suited to take the mantle? Oh, wear the crown, as it were.
I do not keep up on politics. It seems like Ursula and Bram are both the best choices for the crown. The Darvilia province, from what I hear, many poor people, many taxation, not best place to live. Redka, I mean, he could be very popular among nobles. Many, his many hedonistic tendencies, but as a ruler, I wouldn't vote for him. That's not my choice.
Yes, well, I mostly just try. I feel like I got tossed into this whole political sea without so much as a single method of finding my way. Having to figure everything out on the fly.
Yes, well, welcome to Cernan province. Brom tends to do these things. Other provinces have a more stringent vetting process for nobility. The problem with Brom is that he sees the best in people and thinks that anyone can make their way in this world. And as such, when people are given the opportunities, sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you are just better at certain things than others, and you stumble into a position of power, whether it is prudent for you to hold one or not. He would rather give people the opportunity to prove that they're worth by giving them responsibility than do any sort of politicking about it, let's say.
Despite my own likely bias, I'm a little I'm not too certain if Ursula's. I do think Braun might be the best out of the three.
Well,
Ursula's certainly capable, but he also strikes me as extremely strict.
Well, that he is. As far as I can tell, though, the strictness has led to prosperity for his constituents. It's led to drop in crime, certainly. The people there seem to what's the word? They like him. I mean, as far as I can tell, that they are fans of the way he runs things. He's popular, certainly among those who don't break the law, let's say, which is most people, thankfully.
That's quite understandable. Maybe I just have a bit of a harsh look when I went by Zazane and found some thieves and what I can only assume to be an inside man in the guard for those thieves hoisted on spears.
Well, grisly, but effective.
Yes, it's certainly send a message. Well, I've taken up enough of your time. You likely have other things to attend to, and so do I, unfortunately.
Not a problem. Keep in touch.
Indeed. And Chance and Moyle will see themselves out.
Alright. In the meantime, at Realis' office, what does Tavanta want to do?
Well, first of all, I just want to make sure that Tavanta's going in there by himself, right?
As far as I know, I don't think anyone else cared.
Okay, cool. Is it office hours for Jarvis?
You would know her office hours at this point.
Yeah. I give a knock on the door.
Come in.
I walk in and Jarvis, it's so good to see you.
Oh, what an unexpected surprise. Come on in and sit. What would you like to discuss? Surely you're not here just to shoot the breeze.
It's nice to have friends to hang out with, first of all. Why can't we do a bit of both? I want to hear about your activities, and you can hear about mine.
You're adorable. I've got about half an hour left in my office hours before I have a class to teach, so...
Maybe some other time, then. I investigated the Chantry and found an interesting correlation between them and the history of my people.
Really? Do tell.
The Chantry's prophet, one looks up name again, because I clicked out of the page where I had it. Silly ass. The prophet silly ass.
Not silly ass. Silly ass.
I want prophet silly ass.
The great prophet silly string.
The great prophet funny, but anyway.
Sounds like chemicals. Ciliath.
Ciliath, right. The prophet Ciliath was once back when the oracles of gods first showed word of the incoming destruction of Rhea, Ciliath was one of the oracles, and was one of many that stayed behind to give their life to allow us to leave. And it seems that the core itself is a collection of some or more of the fallen gods, given to a new, mashed together and made into a new consciousness, and then revived Ciliath to be a new prophet.
Well, that's quite a lot. So this
Yeah.
person is over 1,000 years old then.
Most likely, yes.
An ancient being is around before the breaking. Don't see many of those nowadays, certainly.
And if he has any recollection, that would be amazing insight. And a connection to this being that calls itself, I believe, Embryo.
Yeah, Embryo is what the core's name is according to scripture.
Yeah. According to the scripture, the core is called Embryo, and he is his first prophet. Waited for a long time on a place called Cathedral Island, for people to discover that island so he could get good things.
Well, that much we were made aware of. Alright. And what does this information serve to do? Do you plan on pursuing this individual for some reason?
Well, the person closest in contact with this core, a former oracle, no less, we could get better insight into what the core is and how it correlates to the Arcanite that dampens our skies. And plus, maybe if it hit, I don't know if Ciliath remembers what happened before. The scriptures didn't really say that it mentioned anything about the sky ships leaving, so it's worth looking into to see if maybe a connection from that long ago can be made.
Very well.
Amazing research opportunity, to be frank.
Of course. Well, from what you've explained to me, the history of this is rather recent and in the making, though seems to be changing rapidly. You said that they exist on a place called Cathedral Island, that is
Yes.
correct?
In fact, there's going to be a celebration soon, and followers of the Chantry will be making a pilgrimage to such an island.
Nost, correct?
I believe so.
I've heard that word thrown around. It's a derivation of an old celestial phrase.
Yes.
Well, if you're planning on pursuing this, do let me know. Keep me posted. If you learn anything new about what this being is, then perhaps greater understanding can be reached. The closer we are to understanding what it could take to clear the air. Although I suspect it will take quite a bit of magic to perform, and of course more research will need to be done to determine the effects on the ecology of the planet, the entirety of the planet.
Lots of our underdog friends would be in trouble.
Well, that being said, if that is your next course of action, then so be it. Do let me know if you need any assistance determining things. I know that this is all from scripture, right? You've spoken to a member of their chantry, and you received this information from their own book, which I'm assuming they produced and authored.
Right, so it would... I'm not a fool enough to believe everything as it's been handed to me, so it would be nice to go to this island and figure it out and see what I can glean for myself.
Well, whatever embellishments have been made, if this prophet of yours has any information that could be useful to us, see to it that it is shared.
Absolutely.
Very interesting. I shall have to look into this chantry a bit further when I have the time. Seems I have ignored their presence for too long.
It bears looking into, definitely. In other news, Savanta, just like, we've uncovered an artifact that Hadrigan has asked us to claim. There was a rather large worm-like creature, and a lot of these insectoid-like creatures that seemed reminiscent of the core-ish.
Yes, the core spawn, I'm assuming you're talking about. That's an unfortunate byproduct of our current situation. The core itself radiates vast amounts of magical energy. Much of it is dissipated by the time it reaches us. But the closer you are to the core, the more concentrated that magical energy is. And it has been known to produce a number of strange mutations in creatures, hence the core spawn. Originally, the history of these creatures was that they were explorers. When the breaking happened and after the first king of men returned to the surface, the Drow Empire, now bereft of people in it, decided to expand a little bit to see if they could reclaim some of their old territory. That meant that travel needed to happen, and the deeper they went into the underroads, the more strange creatures they found. Apart from the normal dangers that were down there, it seems that when we drove the cultists off during the Dead Century, many of them fled further into the Underdark, and in doing so found a source of power they were not prepared to accept. And it changed them. And when it did, it created a new breed of creature that it seems its goal is only to create more of itself by kidnapping or destroying others. My people live down in the Underdark. We've managed to keep them at bay, luckily. There are defenses in place to prevent invasion, but, well, essentially it means that they've prevented us from expanding further beyond our own borders, at least for now.
Understood.
So, just know this: if you have any moral resignations about killing them, they are not the same people they once were. They may once have been peasants, farmers, arrogant mages who decided to travel underground to grasp the core light for themselves. All of them fell, all of them changed, and now they are nothing but mutation and aberration.
I hope to one day rid the world of this issue.
We shall see. That is, if you don't change yourself. Many have tried to eradicate the core spawn, but they always seem to come crawling back.
Savanta just sits there and thinks about it for a bit and then just nods. It's been a pleasure meeting with you again, Drylis.
Of course.
I will definitely let you know what I find. And if you can think of anything that may aid my research, please don't hesitate to send word.
Take everything you hear from the from the Chantry with a grain of salt. Their motives are, I suspect, the same as every other religion, to convert people. If what they're saying sounds good to you, that means their message is working.
If something is too good to be true, it usually is. I have learned that all too well.
Yes, well.
I definitely keep your words in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good day.
Cool. Meanwhile, in the shopping district, what spells do you want, brother?
The boom.
Hello?
Fuck, my mic was in the wrong position.
Yes.
Hate
I
when I'm
don't-
in the wrong position.
What? I want polymorph. And okay, switch. And fly and haste.
Polymorph, fly, and haste.
Indeed.
Okay. How many hours does it take for those ones? And are you going to scribe them yourself, or are you going to hire people?
Hire the peoples.
Okay. So that's fine. You can do that. What I will say is you're capping out on spell levels here. They will not take commissions past 4th level. So, just as a heads up, in the future, when you're going to buy spells, max 4th level is what you're going to be able to get from this store.
Understood.
Okay. But in the future, so that's fine. So, Polymorph is 4th level spell. Is not discounted for you, right?
I don't
assume
think
not.
so.
So it's 50 gold per level of the spell, times 4, 200 gold for that one. And then the 3rd level spells are 150 each, so that's another 300 there. So we're looking at 500 gold just to scribe the spells. It takes 2 hours per level of the spell, so that's automatically 8 hours plus 6 hours each for the 3rd levels. So we're looking at 20 hours total.
Got it.
Then there's the matter of the fact that they have a business and they won't get to your order for a while after. So it's probably going to take, let's say, 24 hours, a full day.
Got it.
Or a full 24 hours, which in a work day would be all day for 3 days. Because they're not going to not sleep, right? So
Yeah,
basically
fair.
3 days for all that commission to be made.
Got it. Okay.
So that's 500 gold for that, and then they're gonna charge you for the service. So throw another 50 gold on top of that, so 550, and we'll call it good.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. So you guys have your friend staying here for 3 days, by the way. He comes back when you all reconvene and be like, by the way, we're staying for 2 more days.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna go see if I guess we head to our respective ends and chill.
Is there
Yeah.
anything
Thanks for
important?
tonight.
Is there anything important
'cause-
anyone wants to do in the
Well,
next 3 days?
Well, because apparently, the day after, I'm going to look in the court, try and see if I can get an idea when the funeral and the coronation are going to happen.
Later they'll see when they come out back. They'll see my character. It's like he looks like his usual self, but for those who have a keen sense of smell can smell the scent of lavender.
He smells early.
So literally just Devonta.
Do I have a keen sense of smell?
You have a passive perception of 22. I don't think.
Your yeah, your olfactory senses are tingling with the scent of flowers a little bit.
Like, motherfucker.
I forget I have just. I spent an entire feat to do this.
All right, so figure out how much you spent. Whatever amount you spent, do that 3 more times to do like stay and food and stuff.
Absolutely.
Does anyone other than doing the court thing? Does anyone else have
3 more
anything to do?
time total, or just three times in this entirety? Are we staying here for 3 days or 4?
3 more times total, because you arrived here halfway through the first day. They're not going to start until tomorrow,
okay.
quote unquote. So it'll be 3
Alright.
days, 3 work days of them focusing entirely on Flamoria's ship. So
All right, so we're here for 4 days total. Got it.
3.5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 3.5. But you know what I mean.
Yes.
My character would ask like, so we're gonna be here for what, 4 more days?
Apparently.
3 more
Wow.
days. Flamor needs to get her spells sorted out, and well,
My character
Ant needs to engage in politics.
Dalavash snorts at bookworms. I'm gonna go check out the mercenary guild. Maybe I can find some short gig.
I will head with you if you don't mind.
I'm gonna also go ahead with you.
See you, Chance.
All right.
God, what? Huh? I mean, is that really a place for you bookworms?
Yes.
We're bookish, not incapable.
Alright.
We've accomplished quite a bit. There's a reason we're recommended.
So in terms of looking for work board, there's a number of like manual labor jobs that are posted. Fighting stuff. Let's see if I can find something. I don't know. I do have. We can call it like a day of the adventuring downtime thing that I wrote.
Okay.
If I can make it work, let me find out. If I can make it work.
Let's go fight some shit, dog, while Chance does politics.
Indeed.
Tell me, we can do about 2 or 3 days of this shit.
So you can take an easy low ranking job from the Adventurers Guild. It would take a work week to do, so it's 5 days, not 3.
I mean, we're here for 4, so fuck it.
You're here for 3.5,
Four.
so you'll be spending another extra, basically 2 days.
Hmm.
If you want to hang out here for for like a week and a half, it's up to you. Not necessarily on
my
a time clock,
God.
so it's up to you. I'm just letting you know how much time is passing as we're doing this.
Nah, fuck. I don't know, man. Let's wait and see what the fuck Chance does. Otherwise, yeah, let's have we hang on. Whatever.
Okay. So, at court, there is a so asking around, let's say, easy enough to do. You have your credentials with you and all that fun stuff, so you're able to at least be around those circles. Do this for me. Let's do a general charisma check followed by a persuasion check
Can I do well on this?
for chance.
Okay.
You're not here.
Uh,
You guys are looking at jobs. He's off doing his own thing.
okay.
After knowing that there's all the short jobs are gonna take that long, I'm gonna start looking into actual jobs we may be able to take on after
Oh,
we leave.
okay.
Sure.
The charisma was a 9, but the persuasion was a 22.
Okay.
That's 20 bit.
Well, you definitely come off as awkward, which helps your case among the nobility. So essentially, what you're doing to facilitate your gaining of this information is you're hanging out around nobility and interacting with them during this time. And while they are while they're not used to your lack of decorum, they understand that, you know, once you bring up like, oh, like, you know, I'm the dude from Larishev who Brahm appointed, they're like, oh, that, okay, let me give you some advice, kid. So the coronation proceedings, what's going on right now, there's a council. There's a council that is a council of advisors to the king.
I'll hold that real quick. I need to get tissue.
Okay, I will wait. You have 10 seconds before I start going anyway. Just kidding. In terms of just regular like manual labor jobs, if you want to get like, you know, 5 gold for helping the Masons Guild or whatever, then you can.
I have to go.
Okay, back.
Because of a thing that's happening. I'll watch the rest later.
Okay.
All right, I'm
Peace
back.
out.
So the court proceedings, there's a council that is advisors to the king, and essentially the way that it's shaking out is the king in his last will and testament, before he died, set forth the method by which the next king would be chosen. It was unconventional at the time it was written, which was several years ago at this point, in that the firstborn son does not automatically become king, which is usually how that happens. Mestra wanted to make sure that the Onician Empire was strong regardless of who inherited the throne. And in order to do that, it had to choose the best leader out of the 3 sons. Plus, knowing his sons for as long as he did, the way that they would bicker with each other, essentially, that's the mean way to put it, but the way that they would interact with each other, told him that there would be some animosity to whoever got the throne if it was not earned, but given. So, the method he put in place was he would split the country in 3, where he would oversee the general goings-on of the kingdom, but each of his sons, the princes, would be in charge of their own province, and would, generally speaking, would be able to run it as they saw fit, with the king stepping in if things got too bad, or if they were doing anything like, you know, against his wishes. But for the most part, they were given free rein, and the point of that was to see who would run their portion of the country better, and what the country would look like after he passed away. Basically, to give him and the council itself and the people of Onick what the rest of the country would likely look like, given the example of the province. So Brahm was given Cernan, Redkin was given Darvelia, and Ursula was given Morvis province. It was split up. The council would be the ones to ultimately decide who would be crowned king among the 3, and measures were put in place to assure that only one of those 3 could be chosen as king, and there would be no infighting amongst the council. There is a bit of oversight, whatever you call it, overhead, holding the council members accountable. If any one of them tries to make a bid for king, they immediately lose all their titles and land and shit. So none of them could try and make a coup, or else they would just lose. That, or at least that's the idea. So, with that being said, the council is taking the next however long it takes them to travel, basically. But they're doing a tour of each province. They are visiting every town that they are aware of in each province, and staying there for a period of 1 week each to see and observe how people live while there, and get an understanding of how the people feel, as well as what their daily life is like, in order to determine who best would be able to rule after Mestra had died. So, given that you have as many cities times as many weeks times the cities that exist in Onick, in order for the council to make their decision and then crown the next king. I don't know how many cities there fucking are. I have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. 51 weeks. 51 weeks is how long it will take them to tour, and plus travel time. So let's say it takes roughly by carriage...
A year.
Well, let's say it takes roughly by carriage half a week to get to any one of those cities. So what's half of 51? 20, 25-ish. So add another 25 weeks to that, you basically have 76 weeks. That's how long they have to decide. In the meantime, they'll rule from the road, essentially. Yeah. So however much 76 weeks ends up being, 76 divided by 4.
I mean, a week is 52. I mean, a year is 52 weeks.
Yeah, 19 months, roughly. Well, we're going by D&D months here, where everything is 30 days and equal. So, we'll say...
That's still over
months,
a year.
19 months, relatively. It is over a year. It's about a year and... Fuck, hold on. Divided by 12. It's a year and a half, basically. It's a little bit around a year and a half. In the meantime, the princes will continue to rule their provinces. So you have about a year until that coronation needs to happen.
And is it going to take that long, or could it happen sooner?
Depends on how fast they go. But I mean, that's the plan is 76 weeks. It could take more deliberation after that, so maybe round it off to 80. But yeah, let's call it a year, a little over a year and a half. For the next king to be crowned. In the meantime, obviously, people will be trying to leverage the council. People who have a vested interest in one of the three princes becoming the next king. So, I mean, they'll be taking into account everything that they can. That's the idea, anyway.
I want to inquire at the mercenary guild if anybody's looking to hire long term right now.
Like, in what capacity? Just for adventuring, period?
Just like it just seems a little bit too good to be true kind of deal.
Well, I'll give you this. So, the adventuring guild that's set up in this town is an offshoot of a group called the Adventurers of Araval. Originally made their they originally founded their organization in Araval, and they continued to live there. But a splintered off group of them came to this continent to see if they could make it, to see if they could spread their guild here and become profitable. It's not very big yet, so they really don't have a lot of people hiring them at the moment. Let's say, partially because the military and the guards of each town and province take care of most of the problems. In Arval, it's a lot more like Wild West, so there's a greater need for adventurers to do jobs. Here, not so much. Not in this continent. So people don't hire them for much else other than, oh, I heard that there was a pack of wolves over here that are fucking with the game. I need them killed. Or there's a troll under this bridge that we need to be slain or run off or whatever. So relatively low-ranking jobs are all you're going to get from these people, is what I'll say. Now there is they are relatively open. They'll take anyone that wants to join them. They're essentially a coalition of mercenaries. So as long as you're in it for coin, glory, or work, then they don't give a fuck. As long as you can do your job correctly and it doesn't look bad on the guild, they don't care who you are. They have a ranking system. So the number of jobs you complete essentially will increase your rank in the guild. So it's basically like a meritocracy. The more that you do, the better you are, the more jobs you can handle. And of course, ranking up gives you the ability to do other things as part of the guild. So if you are rank 1, you won't be able to do anything but low rank jobs because it's like a test your mettle kind of thing. We need to know that you can complete jobs, and we need to know that you can at least be consistent. Then once you've ranked up to rank 2, you can perform higher ranking jobs, and depending on your affiliation and your general, what people know about you as being part of this group, like you've made a little bit of a name for yourself, people may look at you with a different sense of respect. After that, there is rank 3 is like you can do most of the jobs that are posted. If you want to take on the harder jobs that are posted, if there are any, you certainly can, and that gives you more money, more status, etc. And as a rank 3, you can begin to hire other people from the guild in order to subsidize your job and make it easier for you to complete, even though you have to pay them. So you take a cut of your profit, give it to some other people, but you get some more bodies on it, therefore it makes it easier to do. That's how that generally works. You can work for them if you want to. It's not like a permanent position, quote unquote, but they'll keep a record of you and what you do for them and for the people that post the jobs, and treat you accordingly.
Not what I was asking at all, but thank you for the explanation.
That's how the Adventurers Guild works. I don't know what was the real question then, if I didn't answer that one.
Recently, if there was been anybody hiring people for long-term contract without specifying.
Without specifying? No.
Yeah, long time.
Not posted here. Not posted here.
Now I got now. One more question Chains would have asked is, when's the funeral for the king?
Right. That's gonna happen.
He asked about the corn.
Yeah, that's gonna happen when all the princes arrive. They're giving people time to put their affairs in order, so that they can travel to the capital and then be there for the funeral. So, it's only been roughly a week since he died in the first place. So probably at least, let's see, how long does it take to get here from the farthest reaches of the country? if they have to travel like like this basically. Down here, up here, around here, traveling through things, 18 days. Divided
Cut
in
in half
half
if you have-
is nine days by carriage, so it takes them about a week to get here. If they need to put things in order and set up stuff, call that another week maybe to get scheduling done. So probably 2 weeks time. Seems about right.
2 weeks from. Okay.
2 weeks time from the time that it was announced that he was dead and everyone was made aware of it. Which was about a week ago. So next week.
Okay. Well, probably hang around then, because Chance is not hidden the fact from the court here that he is rather new to the whole thing, because Braum
yeah.
just kind of voiced this on him.
That 9 definitely says that they know. But it endeared them enough to you that the 22 made sense.
So let me get this straight. We're staying here another week now?
Yeah.
You could, or I mean, again, you don't have to be there for the funeral. It's not a necessary thing. If you wish to just be like, hey, I send my condolences in a letter or whatever, you certainly can. But it is a point where a lot of the nobility from all around the country, not just your province, are going to be gathered in one place. So,
While I understand that it could be a potentially good networking opportunity, I'm wondering if my character has the enough in his head to realize that.
no.
You may not.
No.
Chance does, even though Chance hates having to do this, but he's contractually bound to at least put in the good effort.
Yeah, given your background, Jay, no. You're a soldier. You don't have anything to do with like politics per se, other than the fact
not-
that they pay your salary.
Not soldier. I changed it, remember?
Oh no, I don't remember. I didn't look at that.
I mean,
I forgot
it's
immediately, 'cause I'm dumb.
it's pretty much the same thing.
I'm sure it is. Why is he out of backups?
But point being, I recommend we at least stay here a bit for the
Military.
until stay here
Right, free
until
service,
that.
got it. So yeah, not even that. So you're not even. Yeah, you're a mercenary. You have no idea. You just do things for fun.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try.
So no.
In that case,
Not even close.
since can I use that week as a downtime then?
Yeah, you can use that week for the downtime if you want to.
Yeah, I assume that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would like to use that week to maybe try and earn a bit extra coin at the college, maybe like copying down documents.
Wait, aren't you gonna be busy with the funeral?
Well, I mean, the funeral doesn't start until a week, so I have a week of time to try and because that's a misunderstanding.
Yeah. No, you
Got
you
it.
got
Got
right.
it.
So yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
do that, scribe work. I mean, the library has a budget. I suppose that they can hire you if you ask nicely. Sure, hon. You're gonna be categorizing all of these here. These are the fiction books that our students or sometimes like to read as part of their studies. You know, it's really good to have like a fiction tale to inspire creative ideas here. And she's just gonna fucking talk about a bunch of shit. It's like
Look! Chance is very used to this kind of work. He is old. He's old hand at it.
yeah, Deborah the librarian will certainly talk your ear off about. You know, oh, I've been here for like 30 years. You're going to want to stay away from the back corner because some of the books back there are enchanted and they like to scream at you if you go too close. That kind of thing. So we'll call it like a week's worth of a working thing. I don't know. I'd have to look up Xanathar's. Let me do Jay's thing first because I have it pulled up right now and I'll do
Yeah. Literally, I just want to be able to make enough where I can afford to stay in the fancy inn because, well,
Sure.
gotta keep up some kind of appearances once all the nobles from the land are here.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay. So let's do yours
Couldn't you
first.
just stay at the college?
He could, but he's be staying at a student's dorm.
They don't need to know that.
All right, whatever. So adventurers are all great, awesome, cool. Each chapter has a guild hall. Blah 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 blah. Hires and trains members.
No, Chance will let the lesser group know that, hey, the coronation's not happening for over a year, so we have time to go do the event. Go to
Right,
that.
right. But let me get that second one.
So, entering the Adventurers Guild here in the capital city, it's a relatively small thing. It's like an office space. It's not like a whole building with a guild hall and banners everywhere. They're just getting here, just starting out. Not very prolific, and people don't hire them for much, so they can't expand as fast. So you would be an initiate. No prerequisites.
Hireling, like I said, it's all there.
No, not from your background, my friend. From the rank you have in the guild. I have.
Yeah, got it.
So write this down somewhere. The Adventurers of Araval. You are the rank of 1, which is initiate.
Can I also join?
If you want to, sure. They don't have a prerequisite. Anyone can join if they want to make money, as long as you don't fuck with the guild too much.
Yeah, you're gonna have to type that down for me somewhere because I'm not gonna be able to know how to spell Arbold.
Just fucking, I'll get to it. Just make sure you note your thing. Just like, if you could put Adventurers Guild if you want to, and I'll know what it is. There's only one. Rank 1, initiate, lowering job. Okay. So you will need to make 3 skill checks when you go on this job. Those skill checks are determined at my discretion, but must include at least 1 skill with which you are proficient. Which skills are you proficient in?
Hold on a sec. Right down the rank. Animal handling, athletics, intimidation, perception, and survival.
Arcana, history, investigation, and survival.
Cool. So we'll do survival because that makes it easier for both of you. So both of you will make a survival check. I will say we're gonna do a stealth check, and we will also do. Let's see. We will also do a Arcana check. Just randomly picking shit. So we'll do it in that order. So starting with survival, both of you make a survival check.
Am I allowed to grant myself guidance or what?
No. This is for an entire work week of doing stuff. Guidance for like 1 instance of the thing. Cool. 16's across the board. That's fine. Next up would be the stealth check. Go ahead and do that for me. Okay, you're twins.
What the fuck, Lamora?
16s and 20s. Sounds good. You were both on the same page with each other. And then finally, the Arcana check.
I am smarter than you.
How?
I don't know.
-1 to a +7.
This is one instance where Flamora is not understanding of what's going on. All right, so this is a relatively low-ranking job, so the DC for all these checks was 12. Determining how much you guys get paid for a low-ranking job, that's 10 gold times your guild rank, which is 10 gold. For the base reward. Now, let's see, blah 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 blah. With only 1 success first ones. Okay, so you guys have suffered no setbacks. You just get your number of earnings done. You don't have to worry about hiring people because you can't do that yet. So each of you gets 10 gold.
Yay. Wait, what about Flamora?
Yeah, each of you gets 10 gold. We'll say, I mean, this is meant to like simulate going on like a small quest. So for this one, I was thinking like there's a troll somewhere that you needed to go kill because it was eating goats in the countryside. You were like, cool, let's go kill that thing, and you did, and it was easy.
Yay.
10 gold.
Yeah.
Cool. That's how that works. And now that each of you have completed a job, please mark down that you have one job completed out of 5. Each of you. Okay, now let me look up Xanathar's and do the other shit. Where's downtime visited? $123. I should know this by now. No, not traps. Okay. Buying a magic item. Nope. Carousing. Nope. We're looking for grunt work, which is down toward the bottom.
It's literally called work.
Yep. Training work.
I'm intimately familiar with that.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay. Performing a job requires 1 work week of effort. You have that. Do that there. Determine how much money a character earns. The character makes an ability check. Strength, dexterity, athletics, acrobatics, intelligence using a set of tools, performance, or charisma using a musical instrument. So make one of those checks.
This would be intelligence, and I guess the tools, quote unquote, be like writing tools.
Cool.
I'd say.
Do you have proficiency in calligraphy tools?
No, but I have my funny little magic tattoo, like a right wing. I'm just copying things over. I don't think that needs like special like tools, really.
Somebody else has T-Mobile.
Calligraphy tools. Do you have calligraphy tools on? I mean, they'll give you calligraphy tools, but if you don't have
No, I
proficiency
don't have
in it, then
proficiency.
that's unfortunate. So just make a general intelligence check then.
I would like to point to my background in doing this kind of thing, record bookkeeping, or maybe at least some kind of bonus here.
Your background is as an antiquarian. It would not give you that. Unfortunately, I don't think it would. It describes what your shit is. Even if you've done this work before, it's not applicable with your expertise die. With your profession die.
I was maybe trying to fish for advantage because Chance has done this kind of shit before on regular. But, okay.
Nope. Just roll. Intelligence roll. I'm sure you'll be fine. Great.
You were fucking saying. You were fucking saying.
You can have poor lifestyle for the week. Roll a D100 for me.
I swear to God, if I get cursed on top of this, I'm just going to leave the chat.
No, it's fine. I don't think there's anything like that in this one particularly.
Curse.
Oh man, there was only a 10% chance, man. All right, roll a D6. 2. Well, all right. This is great. All right, cool. So.
Oh my God! Wait, that's a Karen, isn't it?
Oh no, it's your employer's financial difficulties result in your not being paid. So you don't even get paid for this. You don't even make your poor lifestyle for the week.
He left.
It costs you money to be here. Oh no!
He left.
Oh, that was so bad. Well, that went about as bad as it could have gone. I think there's only like 2 other things that could have been worse.
He literally left.
That's fine. You know what? That's fine. If he doesn't come back, we'll call the session there, and we'll just leave that on a cliffhanger.
Why don't we take a 5-minute break at least? Because I gotta go pee.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. He's not gonna get paid for his week of work. It was just a waste of time.
Oh my God.
Hilarious. Fucking hilarious. All right, we'll be back. Oops, my bad.
Giant toad is not bad.
Not the worst, not the best, but that remains to be seen. Alrighty, we're back. Things happened. So that's how that week goes down, and then there is a funeral that's held, which is a a big, it's a big fucking deal. Throughout the week, well, really the 2 weeks that you guys have been here, the city has been gradually receiving nobles and dignitaries in their processions and their carriages and their fancy shit throughout. Like every day, more start coming through. Some from out of off continent. Some from, you see some people probably from Netria. A couple of Aarakocran dignitaries are there. You also see...
I heard they're really a squawk.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Whoa!
Oh, I
You
love
such
it.
foul language around me, motherfucker.
Watch
Alright.
your fucking profanity.
Watch your profanity. Anyway, so nobles show up, and of course the princes arrive, each with their own royal procession. Brahm, flanked by many of his own personal guard. Ursuval arriving with a mix of royal guardsmen and constructs. And Redka arriving in essentially a party bus, with a woman on each arm and and a tankard in each hand.
Yeah, that guy knows how to party.
He's also at his father's funeral.
This is also true.
And
Throughout the proceedings, many of the nobles. There's time held at court in the royal palace, which is at the center of the city, on the little. It's kind of like an island in the center of the city, split by a river. That many people go and pay their respects. Leaving funeral gifts expressing their sorrow. It's all very theatrical. Brahm, Ursuval, and Redka are all seated there, plus their extended advisors and various forms of nobility. You just see obviously Hadrigan and Daphne are there. A number of the other nobility you would not necessarily recognize, but each of them has kind of their own. You can kind of tell where they're from by the way that they dress and the way that they handle themselves. Certain province nobles are standard what you would expect from a noble. Is that Morvis province people are generally dressed in darker colors, and they have a very like militaristic dress, very very much not dressed in like fine clothes as much as uniforms of various stations. And then the people from Darvelia province they're like I don't know if any of you have seen Sweeney Todd, but like gross Victorian people who are wearing powder and think that they're cool because of it. They're very obviously poor and ugly, and very very obviously like full of themselves and trying to make themselves seem fun, which is inappropriate for most people here because it's a fucking funeral. But they're trying to entertain Redka because that's the only way that they can remain in station. Is as long as he is cool with them. That is how they retain their office and therefore how they can collect money and not be poor. But it's like a very thin veneer of nobility. It's barely nobility. They're basically dancing monkeys in suits, who just happen to be in charge of people. From what you can gather, most of them are drinking throughout the day. Just a passive insight of like one will tell you a lot of them don't want to be drinking here, or necessarily getting like as drunk as they are. You can see those of them that are hanging around Redka are always very animated and cracking jokes, etc. But those of them who manage to like pull away, my lord, I take my. They pull away and they immediately are like, oh my god, how long do I have to keep this up? Like they're clearly like way too drunk. They're like, I hate being here. This is not a fun time for them. So the
I mean, if they're nobility, then there's something for just moving.
I want to challenge him to a drinking contest.
Redka?
No.
If I see you walking towards Redka, I will bodily stop you. Because guess what? Chance actually has a slightly above average strength.
Okay.
I don't think you.
I'm gonna try to do it.
You can. It's not a problem. I mean, so just keep in mind that you're not milling around at a party. Redka has a seat at a table, and he's surrounded by his own.
Yeah, like this
people,
is
his
a
own posse.
funeral.
This is not the funeral part of it yet. This is like people coming to court to express their condolences.
This is like the wake, isn't that the right? They're like the fucking.
Yeah, it's the wake,
yeah.
basically. It's the wake. So like, you could go up to him and be like, "Yo, my lord, sorry," or you could be like, "Hey, real quick, I bet I could drink you under the table." One thing also I will say is, you're dressed like a wild man. You're probably
Well,
not
everyone
getting
else
close.
is dressed in their Sunday best.
You're probably not getting close. There is a lot of royal guard here that are having people. They're protecting the next kings of the realm. They are keeping a very close eye on the proceedings here.
Like I'm have certain chance and Tavanto have tried to convince Vash to put on clothes for this.
So
Yeah.
that's up to him.
Roll a persuasion.
Can I assume I have advantage because I'm getting help from Tavanta?
No. No.
Okay, fine. I'll say that the help from
I
Tavanta
will-
can't have the disadvantage I would have had normally because Vash is Vash.
No, what I will do is I will roll for Tavanta, and we'll call it that.
Oh
Oh
no.
lord. Okay.
My dice just aren't liking me today.
No.
Oh no.
What?
He has
Wait,
proficiency in
wait.
persuasion.
Oh.
There you go.
Yay.
Now, would I be rolling counter persuasion, or would I
Does a
be rolling
17
insight?
convince you? Yes or no? What do you think he would do? A 17 is an above
17 is a
average.
good number.
How-
So that's
Here, let me put it this way. How hard is it to convince him to put on clothes?
Especially given how this is supposed to be a very this is an event of mourning of the
Wouldn't-
fucking king.
Is it like just
Wouldn't
kind of
be-
difficult, or is it like no? You have to be really persuasive.
he's like, fine, but I'm doing it under. I don't want to do this, but I'm fine.
Doing it under duress.
He doesn't even know the word.
He thinks that duress means dress, so he's doing it underneath clothes. That's the idea. All right. So yes, you have clothes. Congratulations. But yeah, you're not gonna get close enough. To him to like whisper in his ear or anything, but you can get in line essentially, and pass by the other princes and say, hey, look, hi, and say what you want to say. Just keep in mind that there are royal guard present who will throw you out if you cause a problem.
Yeah, Chance is like Chance sees where Vash probably gets in line and gets in line way behind him. So that way he has plausible deniability. Like, I have no idea who this person is.
What do you want to say to her?
Hold on a sec. I need to find something real quick.
Okay. I need to find drinking rules for that.
What kind of clothing style are we talking here, by the way?
We've probably dressed you up in a fucking suit. We've probably given you like some fancy clothes.
No, I'm not taking anything you guys give me. I'm saying what century? Are we talking 18th century, Middle Ages, medieval?
We're talking fantasy, so I don't
Okay,
know,
got it.
something that is decent enough to pass for acceptable clothing in a fantasy realm.
Should I put the picture of what I'm wearing in RP chat or general chat?
I don't think it matters either one. Our RP chat's more for like if characters want to have conversations with each other outside of the session or on the side.
Okay, I'll put it in the general chat. So Vash comes back wearing this
Yeah, that's not too bad.
and has a matching black shoes and pants and whatnot. And I'd still glare at Savanta because he's the one that managed to convince me. He's like, I'm doing it because you asked nicely.
Alrighty, cool. So, a decent, a decently appropriate black doublet sounds good. What are you saying to Redka as you approach?
Yeah, sorry your dad died, man. But if you want to, I was wondering if after the funeral, if you want to have a drinking contest, because you look like you could hold liquor, unlike most of the fucking people around here.
Oh my. Oh my fucking god. The madman actually did it.
Redka looks you up and down with a crooked eye, crooked eyebrow. And he says, he turns to the people to the left and right of him. Well, I do like a challenge.
Oh my god.
Come and sit with me. Come and sit with me. You give up your chair now. Get up. And you can see one of the fat, like extremely drunk, powdered-faced nobles just being like, "Right away, of course, my lord." And gets up out of his chair and like almost falls over because he's been drinking this whole time. Says, "Go and get us some drink. Go."
The one that's almost falling over, I'd like to cast something at him.
What would you like to do?
Alcohol poisoning, right? Lesser restoration.
You have lesser restoration. Sounds good because you have second level spells. Yeah, is that a touch spell or is it ranged?
I think it's a touch.
Cool. So give him like a pat on the back.
Yeah, there you go.
Sick. So
Like,
he's no longer poisoned.
It's like, oh, you need to learn how to hold your liquor, man, and just pat him on the shoulder.
He stops
really hard.
swaying and like shakes his head. He's like, "Oh, fantastic. I will thank you for that. I appreciate it. Please sit down at the grace of our Lord. I will go and fetch the drinks." And he begins to wander off, like shaking his head like, "Oh, thank God."
Awesome. And I just unceremoniously flops down on the chair.
Fantastic. What is your name, random stranger?
Vash. Yep, Vash is my name.
Well, Sir Vash, I hope you can back up your claims. We are going to drink to my father's legacy, after all.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why do you people do it like this? Tribe I'm come from, we celebrate how we live with them. We celebrate their life. This weird.
I understand. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why did I go French? Understand. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This celebration needs to be happening of life. Whatever. People can mourn their own losses the way that they wish to do. Enough talk. Fuck this. Brings his drinks over. And they bring, several tankards that they have ready for him. I'll have you roll con.
Just FYI.
Yeah, whatever you're gonna do, I don't know. drunkard. Yep, sure. Sure. Yeah, fantastic. This doesn't apply yet, but it will, and that's what the con saves for. So yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Oh,
Wait, where's my?
that's a 5, by the way. I forgot to put it on the public.
Are you proficient in con saves?
No,
Aren't you a
You gotta add your-
barbarian?
I started out as a druid.
Yeah, his druid is his starting class.
That was
You add your profession die to that as well. This is as well as that. So I mean, the most you can get is a 9, but we'll see. See how it goes.
Yay, 8.
Cool. This is good. 24.
I didn't even
Con-
see the
Oh
first.
my god!
I didn't even see the first roll for the con save. Like it's not there.
Yeah, I did it in the GM chat.
Yeah, it's
By
yeah,
accident.
He whispered it to me on accident, but I have it. It was a 5 plus. It was a 3 plus 2 basically. But yeah, con save of 24. Not only did he roll high, but he has higher con. Okay. He drinks your ass under the table. It's almost superhuman how much he can drink, hold in, and not throw up, and be
Can I
absolutely.
do sleight of hand?
For what?
So I could do lesser restoration on myself without him seeing me?
No, you don't. You're not a sorcerer, so you can't cast subtle spell.
Damn it.
People are gonna know you're casting a spell. So, unfortunately,
I,
close.
I passed out on the floor.
Yeah.
On
I
the
have a
table, I
question.
guess.
that whole section of table is just drunk laughing people. Everyone else is like scooted away from you. Like the other princes are deliberately ignoring you as hard as they possibly can. And just apologizing to every other guest whenever like a loud laughter or a slamming of another mug on the table happens. And then when you fall over backwards out of your chair, drunk off your ass with Redka having destroyed you, he says, "Well, I like him, but seems I have won this contest. Bring someone over to sit next to me. Get him out of here." And then they a couple of his guardsmen grab you by the shoulders and drag you outside and throw you out of the party, essentially.
I like to, before I pass out, I want to say, I'll get you next time.
Just onto the ground. Sure thing. But yeah, you are gone for the rest of the funeral procession.
Chances at the back, like towards the way back, because I said he's standing back in the line compared to everyone else. He's just like, "Oh my god, I have to deal with this guy now. That's gonna be the person that's just gonna be in our group now. This is my life."
But I was like, this is gonna be interesting for a while.
You have
I
no
mean, it's
idea.
better than Strovan, right?
Well, I mean, that remains to be seen, my friend. That depends on you. I like him a lot better than Strovan so far.
Yeah.
I do too, but Chance is getting to the point where he's like,
Chance
he's
doesn't
seriously
like anybody.
considering if Strovan would be preferred here.
That's fine. Chance doesn't like anybody. We should take that with a grain of salt. All right.
Damn!
In the meantime,
Oh,
what is Chance? Chance is in line. Does he say anything special, or is he just like, sorry for your loss, blah blah blah?
He just conveys his gratitude for his position to Brahm, and then also conveys his condolences, basically.
Okay. Only to Brahm, or are you going to both? Or
Uh,
three, rather.
Both, because he imagines Redka's a bit too busy.
Redka is multitasking. He's taking condolences from people while also kind of ignoring them. Like he's taking note of like who's up here. Like he gives them side eyes whenever they come up. There's not a lot of people who are talking to him, to be honest. So
He'll give his condolences to all three. Just be polite. But he will also convey his gratitude to Brahm for giving him his position as steward of leadership.
Right. Cool. Okay. Your condolences are well received, and Brahm, surprisingly, recognizes you for the work that you've been doing for Larashev and the growth that it's experienced so far. Congratulates you on the town's continued prosperity and hopes that more is to come in the future. Ursula is polite but distant because he doesn't really know you. He's, to him, you're just another member of random nobility that he's unaware of and is not concerned with. Certainly not someone from his own province that he needs to worry about.
Yeah, honestly, I'm probably sure the most interesting thing about him in regards to to Chance, I imagine the most interesting thing about Chance to Ursula is just is Moyle. Because Moyle is not heavily armed like previously. Because I imagine the guards would be not happy with that, but he's still Chance's ever-present bodyguard.
Oh yeah, you would be frisked for weapons at the time, like easily, like not a chance in hell you're getting anything past the guards here.
Yep, I figure, but Moyle's still gonna be there.
Yeah. Would you deny an old man his walking stick does not fly with these guards? It might fly in the halls of Theoden, but not here. Yeah, so sure. Ursula is not, he's not, flippant, he's not rude, but he's, thank you for your condolences, I appreciate the sentiment. And then, move on. Brahma's more like, hey, just wanted to let you know you're doing a good job. Like, he went out of his way to recognize you, which is nice.
That probably elevated Chance a little bit to Ursula, but not by much. That's actually probably the most interesting. Not even the fucking demon following Chance around.
What's your passive perception?
Not high. Don't even bother. It is 8.
8? Okay, never mind.
I have a -2 to wisdom.
I'll say this for Tavanta. Let me do this. I'll say it on the recording, but I won't say it in chat. So for Tavanta,
I should have said the last saying to something else. Oh well, too late.
Then Chance will
stop. Don't talk for a second. I'm explaining something while I'm muted for you guys, but not to the recording.
Okay.
So for Tavanta, just if you're watching this back, with your 22 passive perception, wherever you are in the room, whenever you watch Chance interact with the princes, whenever Brahma's congratulating him on his shit, Ursula rolls his eyes like, oh shit, this guy, and he's not doing it because of Chance, he's doing it because of Brahm. Very clearly, he's like, oh, my brother's a goody goody, congratulating a random low-ranking noble for his basic duty of keeping a town running. So, just wanted to mention that. Okay. All right. Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying that I should have said something else instead of "I'll get you next time." I should have said something else to embarrass Chance.
Well, maybe you can do that if you go and hang out with Redka at some point.
Then Chance will extend the condolences to Redka as well, because he is still his dad still died. Even if he's a bit of a shitter, at least try to be nice about it.
Yeah, he you catch him like mid chugging on a tankard of ale, and he just holds out his hand for you to shake, and then you do, and it's kind of gross. So you have to like wipe your hand off. You feel kind of dirty for touching it. But it's
hey, presto.
Yeah, presto, man. That's the best spell that you have in your arsenal at this point for touching him. But he's not the cleanest individual at the moment.
Yeah, but Chance would wait to presto till he's at least out of like sight of Redka.
Sure. Just disappear into the crowd and then real quickly just like. Alright. After the wake thing, which I don't know if it comes before or after a funeral usually, but it's happening before
if I recall,
the actual.
As I understand it, the wake is before.
I don't know.
Because a wake is also sometimes like a viewing where you can see the body in the coffin.
Sure.
I've just been like gussied up by the
the coroner
or whatever, whoever
or a
does
local
it,
priest or whatever.
mortician or whatever the fuck.
They got a grave cleric to cast gentle repose on the body. After this event, the actual funeral takes place the next day. There is a parade essentially through the street where people can watch the coffin be transferred from the royal palace to the royal burial grounds. After it takes like a final like walk around, it's like basically a loop. They start at the palace, they go around the entirety of the town on a predetermined route, and then end up back at the palace where they can inter the body. So plenty of people, noble or not, are there on the streets, somberly dressed in black and paying their last respects to their king, etc., etc. On this day, most of the shops are closed. There isn't a lot of basically people just kind of take a day off, a day of mourning for the king. But it's business as usual afterward, and the body is interred in its own private ceremony that only the highest ranking nobles are invited to, so you don't have to worry about that. Afterwards, the council begins its own preparations to leave. You guys are probably gone before they leave and take off, but there's another event for that where people see them off in their own caravan of carriages and guards and horses and everything. But at that point, I feel like you guys have probably already begun on whatever you're doing next.
Yeah, because we have about a year, so probably it's good to go.
Coincidentally, their first stop is Larishev, so.
Which means we should probably at least wait to entertain them when they arrive.
I mean, you don't have to, but you can if you want to. You're gonna get there before they do.
All right, let me ask. Would it be a bit of a faux pas if I was not there? Because I actually have to consider that.
No, not necessarily. You are a lord and member of nobility, but the one who runs the day-to-day for the town and the one they're actually interested in talking to is the mayor. And you're on good terms with him, so he can put in a word for you.
And if the mayor absolutely needs to talk to me about something, he has a sending stone.
Yes, he does. But they will be spending a week in Larishev, and they will be keeping an eye out, hanging around town, doing general whatever they want to do. I don't know, blacksmithing stuff. If their horses need new shoes, they'll go to the blacksmith and talk with him and ask hey, how's things going? And if the people like you, they'll talk good about you, and the mayor, I'm sure, put in a good word for you.
Yeah, because I think Chance has done good by most people at Airship, especially Dean Bud.
Yeah,
the blacksmith they're probably going to here.
And that stuff concerning you. Their greater goal is one of how Brahm allows his province to be run, is what they're really going after. They're not really concerned with you as much, but what you are allowed to do because of the prince is what they're really after.
The fact that Chance suggested the idea of a tax break for new businesses getting set up here is probably the most interesting thing out of what Chance has done as his official capacity.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm trying to think because I think that's literally the most Chance has done aside from put in his 2 cents on who should be the next mayor, which did sway the election there.
Sure. Yeah. There hasn't, again, Larishev's still not a huge town. It's growing, but it's not huge. So there's not really much to worry about yet. The mayor can kind of run things on his own. He doesn't need anyone else to weigh in as much. Obviously, with you being its steward and a financial benefactor and also investor in the town. He values your opinion on certain things, but he can make his own decisions to help the town. He's really the one who runs the day-to-day anyway, so in that manner he can, you know, he'll be the one to really be the face of Larishev in this matter.
Fair enough.
So you are free to take off and do whatever you need to do and not spend any more time worrying about nobility and shit. Now, what I will ask, we have 5 minutes left. The plan is for next week, you guys are going to Migran to talk to the Korik people again, or are you going to try and find a boat there as well? There is a closer port in Corcel that you could take, but the core people are up in the top left, so that's why I'm asking.
My character is sort of a hireling, so it's up to you guys.
Like, you're around. I wanted to remember what the general consensus was, because I know Tavanta had some shit to do with the moon people, or not the moon people, the fucking core people. Was that a pit stop for you guys that you guys agreed to do?
I personally want to go out and go see what the ski does, but I'm up for anything.
The what does?
So, what the key is
what the
on
key
to go
does.
do? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was determined, right? But I'm saying there are two routes you could take, essentially. There are airship ports that are closer to you than Migran is. It would take less time to get there. It's up to you if you want to save a little time. But the people who are part of the core are up in the top left corner. So if you want to spend the extra travel time and RP time to go and talk with them, which I think was what Tavanta wanted to do, then that is the airship port you want to go to continue.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you don't think that, if you don't remember if he's like going there or not, then you could go to Corcel, or even I think Sine or Corvoy, one of the two. Sine or Corvoy has an airship port as well, so you could go there, less travel time. But I'm posing it to the group. Do you think that? I don't remember if Tavanta said like, "Hey, I'm going to go back to Migran and talk to them again."
I don't remember either.
I don't recall him saying that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask him in DMs later. Let's assume that he did say that, because I believe he wanted to find out as much as he could about Ciliath and Aranost and all that fun stuff. Which I'll have to figure out, but
I gotta head out. Just let you know.
yeah, we're gonna end session. I'm trying to get a direction for next session. So
I believe the plan was.
We can skip past all the travel time. I'll put you guys in Migran. Let's say we're going to Migran and talking to core people again, and then you guys are chartering a ship next session.
Yeah, we're gonna go investigate the key, because that's Mage is trying to do the whole thing because we have most of the year to get it did.
Okay. So we'll do that next session. I'll plan for that, and then I'll plan some other shit, including your destination, and then we'll convene next week. So see you guys then. Good session, good RP and things. Introducing.
Yeah, drinking.
Yes, drinking with Drunken Prince is very nice. So I will see you guys next week. We'll pick up with the next leg of your adventure for real this time, for realsies. No more downtime. It's time for action. All right, see you then. Bye.
All right.